in the wild, vast reaches of space, missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol.
Space Patrol is presented by Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa in the bright red can and those terrific Nestle's chocolate bars.
Commander, the hatch closed. We're locked in. What's that?
Somebody threw the switch. We're being bombarded with radiation.
And there's no way out.
Stand by for exciting action on the deadly radiation chamber in just one moment. Say, fellas and girls, we've got a real mystery on our hands. Somebody's been prowling around Terra 5, so the commander and I have rigged up this complete space vision circuit to watch and see if we can catch somebody when the... Hey, there's the signal coming from the galley. Let's see what we've caught. Well, I'll be. It's our own Cadet Happy. Well, fry me for a Venusian. He's putting down the Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa and putting 1, 2, 3 teaspoons in his cup, adding hot water, and there's his sensational Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa all ready to drink. Say, that looks mighty good. Hey, let's go over and surprise him and maybe have some Nestle's Ever-Ready for ourselves, huh? Well, I'll be a three-toed Martian. He's disappeared already. But he left some hot water, so I think I'll have a cup of Nestle's Cocoa, too, huh? Ah, this is it, Space Patrollers. Nestle's Cocoa. It gives you a real energy boost and treats you to that delicious chocolate flavor snack time as well as meal time. Let me tell you, here at Space Patrol headquarters, Nestle's Cocoa is on the menu every single day. Commander Corry insists on it because Nestle's Cocoa is just packed to the brim with energy-boosting ingredients. Rich whole milk and power-giving sugar are already in it. You know, Mom and Dad have a hot drink to start the day, so why don't you? Why don't you ask Mom to get you some Nestle's Ever-Ready in the big red can? And say, have you sent for your sensational Nettie Nestle Space Jet? Well, don't miss out. You listen closely because after the first part of today's adventure, I'll give you the whole scoop on how to get one of these terrific all-plastic flying jets for your very own. This is an Exonium plant, the Halifax Exonium Atomic Products Company. It is here that nearly 30% of the system's fissionable material is processed for commercial use. From this huge, sprawling plant, the Halifax Company makes a contribution vital to the very existence of the United Planets. Not far from the great plant itself, in Terra City, high atop an office building, sits the guiding genius behind this huge enterprise, the gruff and blustery Mr. Henry Halifax.
Mr. Tyler, state your business and be quick about it. I'm a busy man. Well, what do you want? You're wasting my time. Speak up, speak up.
Maybe this will answer your question, Mr. Halifax.
What's the meaning of this?
Shut up and turn around.
Why, you...
Turn around.
The disguise is excellent, sir, excellent. You could fool me, and I was just talking to Halifax.
Take this to the hideout on Mercury. It annoys me.
Amazing, Mr. Proteus. Even the voice. No one will know you're not Halifax himself.
This is only the beginning, Tyler. Only the beginning.
If it were just the Halifax company alone, it wouldn't be so bad. But the Matsoon company and the Justin company, too. The three largest processors of fissionable material in the United Planets. Power shortage like we're in for will not only cripple industry, but surface transportation, interplanetary flights. There won't even be enough power to operate the homes of the people. And worse.
Worse?
Medical science centers rely on synthetic isotopes for many of their cures.
Smoking rockets, it's right. I hadn't thought of that. No wonder the Security Council ordered you to investigate all the nuclear fission plants.
Yes, but where do we start? Why would these three companies suddenly declare their plants radioactive and unsafe, dismiss all their employees, and go out of production, one right after another?
Maybe it's sabotage, sir.
Well, maybe it is. In any case, that's what we've got to find out. The Halifax company plant being located here in Terra will be our first stop. We have an appointment with Henry Halifax himself at 1200.
Wonder what he'll have to say.
Buzz,
Oh, hello, Carol.
Hi, Kim.
I'm glad I caught you, Buzz.
Well, what's up?
Well, it seems that Dad just told me that the director of the Fissionable Material Agency is coming to see you in an hour.
Oh, what for?
Well, the Security Council just gave him special emergency powers now that production's limited.
I see.
And Dad said off the record that he's feeling his new authority already.
Oh.
He told some of the council members that he's going to keep his finger on the progress of your investigation.
That's all we need. Well, we still have time to see Mr. Halifax before Mr. Proteus gets here.
Who, sir?
The council director, Happy, Mr. Proteus.
How many times must I tell you never to use that name Proteus in here? When we're here in this office, I'm Halifax. Over in the Mars office, I'm Matsoon. And on Venus, I'm Justin.
Yes, sir, I'll remember.
See that you do. Yes, yes, what is it? Speak up. Well, what do they want? Well, what are you waiting for? Send them in.
Want me to leave?
No, stick around.
Halifax, I'm Commander Corry. This is my Cadet Happy.
Oh, what do you want? Speak up, I'm a busy man. Get to the point.
All right, Mr. Halifax, I will get to the point. Your company supplies 30% of all the power units used in the United Planets.
31.7%.
Well, the government thinks that your installations, along with those of Mr. Matsoon and Mr. Justin, are being sabotaged. I've been ordered to conduct an investigation and like your permission to go into your plant here in Terra.
Go into it. Are you mad, man? It's been declared unsafe. The whole place is radioactive. Why, it may reach critical mass at any time.
You mean blow up?
Nobody's talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
Do I have your permission?
Permission? Of course not.
Maybe you don't understand. This is an emergency.
The answer is still no. Now, if you don't mind, I'm a busy man.
I can get a warrant allowing me to search your premises.
Then get it.
Mr. Halifax, you have a stockpile of power units, yet you've canceled contracts and refused to sell any of them. Why?
None of your blasted business. This is my property. I can do with it what I want.
Of course you can. But Mr. Matsoon and Mr. Justin are also withholding their stockpiles. This could suggest a conspiracy to manipulate the market price and create a monopoly. And that, Mr. Halifax, is illegal.
So
think it over.
Goodbye, Mr. Halifax.
get out of here!
Lock the door, Tyler. Maybe you ought to let Corry go into the plant. Like he said, he can get a warrant.
I need the time it'll take him to get that warrant.
Time, Mr. Proteus? What for?
Corry is smart, and he's dangerous. It won't take him long to figure out just how we made this plant radioactive. Then he'll soon discover the same trick was used at the Matsoon and Justin plants.
Yeah, I see what you mean. If he found out that we'd stop production on purpose, he might be able to make that monopoly charge stick. We'd be out of business before we get started.
Exactly. That's why Commander Corry has to die.
Did you get the warrant, Happy?
Oh, yes, sir. It'll be ready in a few minutes. You can pick it up after your meeting with Mr. Proteus.
He's late.
Proteus. Proteus. Well, I heard that name before.
There was a mythical sea god named Proteus, Happy. He had the strange ability to change his appearance whenever he wanted to.
Sure, I remember now. Yeah, Proteus could look like anything he wanted to.
You speaking about me, young man?
Oh, no, sir. We were talking about a mythical sea god.
Sounded very interesting, this ability to change one's appearance. I'll have to try it sometime.
Mr. Proteus, I'm Commander Corry.
Oh.
This is Miss Carlisle and my cadet, Happy.
How do you do? Very glad to know you. I'm sorry I'm late, Commander. I was held up in an important meeting.
That's quite all right.
Now, Commander, as you know, we're facing a serious situation.
Yes, I know.
We must act as fast as we can if we can avert a disaster.
We're starting our investigation at once, Mr. Proteus.
Oh, excellent, Commander. Well, I know we can count on you. I merely stopped by today because I wanted to assure you that you will have the complete cooperation of my counsel in not interfering in any way with your investigation.
Thank you.
The only thing I want in return is that you keep me informed of your progress so I can assure the council members that everything possible is being done.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Proteus. In fact, I can tell you right now that we're going over to the Halifax plant in a few minutes and see if we can find out about this mysterious radioactivity.
Oh, excellent, Commander. I can see you're on your toes. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll be in touch with you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Huh. Well, is that all there is?
Well, that was painless.
Yes, it was. Let's hope this Mr. Proteus doesn't turn out to be like your mythical sea god.
You mean change into something else?
Yes, into an ogre. If we don't learn what's wrong at the Halifax plant.
That's right. My name's Tyler. I saw you at the Halifax office.
Then you know why we're here.
Sorry, I can't let you in.
I don't want to contradict you, but we have that warrant.
Warrant or no warrant, I can't let you in. I'm not authorized to.
You are now.
Not interested.
Hey, what's the big idea? Oh!
That wasn't very smart, Tyler.
Maybe you'd like to do something about it.
Come on, Hat. Yes? There, you can read that when you come to. The rockets went, they were right. This place is hot. Listen to that Geiger counter.
Seems to be coming from the walls, all right.
Commander, you don't think this whole place really could reach critical mass and go up in an atomic explosion, do you, sir? With us in it?
Mr. Proteus, I stalled them as long as I could, but they're inside the plant now.
I wonder what's in there, sir.
It's a chamber for making synthetic isotopes. Must have closed down the plant before this was processed.
Sure hate to be in here when they started bombarding it with radiation.
Huh? Wait! The hatch closed! Commander, we're locked in.
What's that?
Somebody threw the switch. We're being bombarded with radiation.
And there's no way out.
Say, Space Patrollers, you want the great new Nettie Nestle space jet, don't you? Yes, sir, it's a really great model. You can throw it for a long, long distance, and it does all kinds of tricks. It's all plastic, so it can't break, and it can't break anything, even when you fly it in a house. Look, here it has a special secret compartment in the nose, so you can send secret messages to all your pals in the Space Patrol. Say, there's a message here. Let's see what it says. This sensational offer is from the makers of Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa with whole milk and sugar already in it. The one cocoa that needs nothing but water added to give you a rich, hot drink with delicious Nestle chocolate flavor. That's Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa. Okay, now here's the scoop on how to get your space jet. You send your name and address, along with 25 cents in coin, plus the lid from a can of Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa, or a tracing of the front of the Ever-Ready label to Nestle, Box 66, New York 46, New York. Now that's 25 cents in coin no stamps, please. Plus the Ever-Ready can lid or tracing of the front of the Ever-Ready label to Nestle, Box 66, New York 46, New York. And that's all there is to it. But this offer is good for a short time only, so don't be left out. Send for your space jet today. And now back to Space Patrol. And make a note of the time. Between the hours of 1430 and 1700, all public utility power will be cut off. This is the first step in an all-out move to conserve power. Further emergency measures will be taken. Stay tuned for...
I'm back, Dad. I was just listening to the emergency broadcast. Oh, yes, it's terrible. I just hope Buzz can find the answer before the whole system's paralyzed. Well, he's working on it already, Dad. He and Hap are at the Halifax plant right now.
It's no use, Commander. We're locked in. Commander, look! The more those damper rods come out, the more radiation we're taking. How much can we take, Commander? How long can we last?
Not very long, Happy, unless we can get out of here.
That's impossible.
Did you get him, Mr. Proteus?
Yes, Tyler. They're both locked inside an isotope chamber. From now on, all we've got to do is wait. It's just a matter of time.
There must be a way out of here. There's got to be.
It's no use, Commander. I've been over every inch of this place, just like you have.
This is Carol calling Commander Corry. Buzz, this is Carol. Do you read me? Buzz, Happy, come in.
Commander, I don't feel very well.
You can't just give up.
Maybe it'd be better if this whole place did reach critical mass. Blow up. At least that way it'd be quick. Or maybe if all those damper rods would just come out at once, all at the same time.
Don't talk that way. Wait a minute. It might work.
Got an idea?
Perhaps. I'll blow all the damper rods out. Accelerate the radiation.
I was only kidding, sir. I didn't mean...
Now, look, Hap, suppose the radiation were increased, say, to beyond the danger point. There must be an automatic cutout switch to take care of it.
Yeah, there must be. Yeah, wait a minute. If you increase the radiation beyond the danger point, how does that affect us?
It'd be dangerous, Hap. You get a good dose of radiation, maybe too much. You may be able to get the medical science center in time. They could treat us.
It's the medical science center. Commander, even if we do get the power shut off, how do we get out of here?
If there is an automatic cutout switch, there must be some provision for immediately lessening the critical load here in the chamber. That can mean only one thing. This block of raw material would be withdrawn. A whole lot of the chamber through here.
Yeah, in order for that to happen, the panel would have to open.
Here, Happy, sit here.
Oh, what about you, sir?
Shout all the rods. All set?
I'm ready, sir. I hope it works.
Hey, how'd you get here?
So we'd like to know.
Them Space Patrol uniforms. What are you fellas doing here?
It's a long story.
Hey, you fellas don't look so good. Kind of pale and sickly. Is anything wrong?
Where's the nearest spacephone?
Up there, right around the corner.
How about a miniature spaceophone, sir?
They'd never penetrate the insulated walls.
You don't look in any condition to get to that spaceophone. Why don't you just sit here and take it easy? I'll make your call for you.
Thanks. Call Medical Science Center. Have them send an emergency ship fast. 2 cases of radiation.
Radiation? Now, just don't you worry. I'll make that call for you right away. Just take it easy.
Commander, you don't think there'd be any chance that we could make it ourselves?
No.
In your ship, do you, sir?
No, we'd black out before we got there. Don't worry. They'll get here in time.
Yeah, sure. Sure, they'll get here in time.
You're all set now. I told them to burn their rockets if they had to, just to make sure they'd get here as quick as they could.
Thanks, old timer. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we sure do.
I'll just sit down here and wait with you, if you don't mind.
I can't let you in, and that's all there is to it.
But Commander Corry and Cadet Happy are in there. I know. I landed right by their ship.
They had a search warrant.
But they've been in there so long, and they don't answer my spaceophone calls.
Look, I can't help that. You're not coming in, and that's final.
All right.
Hey, you, come back here. Come back.
Commander, would it be funny if that ambulance ship was already out there and Tyler wouldn't let him in because he didn't have a warrant?
Maybe we'd better call again.
Let go of me! Let go! Let go of me! Buzz, Happy, what's wrong?
Nothing now. Now, if you can break a few speed records, get us to the Medical Science Center.
But you're hurt. What happened?
Radiation.
I'll get you back right away from
Now, we better take Tyler and that Ben, the watchman, along for questioning.
Commander, they're gone.
Oh, we don't have time to look for them now. Come on.
You're right, Carol. We'll pick them up later.
What are you doing?
Now, don't be a fool, Tyler. It's got to look like an accident.
What do you know about this?
As I said before, I give the orders.
Mr. Proteus.
Let this be a lesson to you, Tyler. Every time I give an order, obey it to the letter. You can never know when I'll be standing next to you. And neither can Corry.
Yes, Dad, we're back at the office, and they're all right. They counteracted their excessive radiation at Medical Science Center. Oh, and they both look as good as new. Bye, Dad.
Say, Commander, do you think maybe that Tyler or that watchman might have had something to do with us getting locked in that chamber?
I don't know, Happy. We're sure going to find out.
Hey, what's going on?
That's just a start. The first results of a power shortage, and they mark the beginning of the worst disaster that this system has ever known.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard packages.
How do you like them?
How do Chex taste best to you? Some space patrollers eat wheat Chex and rice Chex with lots of good milk. Maybe you like milk and sugar to make your Chex extra sweet. I like my Chex with milk and sugar and fresh fruit. But no matter how you fix them up, Chex are tops. The best cereals ever, not tops just one way, tops all three ways. Number one, Chex are tops for taste. Triple toasted and make them crisp and crunchy and super tasty. Number two, Chex are tops for size, made in that modern bite-size design, a size just right for a perfect bite. Number three, Chex are tops for get up and go. A good breakfast with Chex gives you plenty of real get up and go energy. So get yourself some Chex, wheat Chex or rice Chex in the red and white checkerboard packages. The cereals that are tops three ways. The only cereals with a Space Patrol trading card free in every package.
And now a scene from next week's exciting adventure, The Plot in the Atomic Plant.
Hey, there he is up there, Commander, on the catwalk.
Yes, I see him. I'm behind a structural beam suspended from that cable.
What's he going to do with that cable?
He's releasing it. He's going to drop the whole load of the beams right on us.
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz and Happy are the objects of The Plot in the Atomic Plant. Next week on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you by Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa, and famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Remember, Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
Ozzie and Harriet star on ABC television.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Brought to you by the Checkerboard Super Cereals, Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston.
Stand by for exciting action on The Plot in the Atomic Plant in just one moment. Hiya, Space Patrollers. It's initiation day here at the Space Patrol Clubhouse, and we're initiating a brand new member, giving him a special test to see if he can think fast like a real Space Patroller. Watch now. Joey, I know you like Rice Chex a lot, but can you give the boys and girls out there a reason why they don't like Rice Chex? I mean, without saying a single solitary word. Box tops? Top? I get it. Tops for taste. Rice Chex is tops for taste.
Proteus, who, like the mythical sea god of the same name, is capable of changing his appearance and character whenever he wishes. To Buzz Corry, Mr. Proteus is known only as the director of a government agency concerned with the allocation of the precious atomic power units still available. A master of deception, Mr. Proteus now appears as Ben, an old watchman. The other man, Tyler, is his assistant, the only person alive who knows the true character of the chameleon-like Mr. Proteus.
It's amazing, Mr. Proteus. As many times as I've seen you in your various disguises, I didn't know that you were Ben, the old watchman.
Nor did Corry, and that's what's important. Now he must be put out of the way permanently. He's too dangerous.
How are we going to do that without tipping our hand?
Like our first attempt, it must appear accidental. And like our first attempt, it will happen here in the Halifax plant while he's conducting his investigation.
After what happened, what makes you think he'll come back here?
Well, he'll come back all right. As soon as he begins to ask himself a few questions.
Why? Why was that old watchman Ben allowed to remain inside the plant when everyone else was dismissed because of excessive radiation?
That's a good question, Commander, especially since we know that the place is hot. You know, I'll bet he knows a lot more about our getting locked in that isotope chamber than he's letting on.
I bet Tyler does, too, if he could only prove it.
It'd be kind of hard to prove anything against old Ben. After all, he did try to help us. He called Medical Science Center for an ambulance ship, even if it was late in getting there.
Wait a minute. How do we know that ambulance ship ever got there?
Hey, come to think of it, we don't.
Medical Science Center. This is Commander Corry. I want to check your records on ambulance calls for yesterday. About 13:45. Call for an ambulance ship to go to the Halifax Products plant outside Terra City. Are you sure? Thank you very much. Corry out. They received no such call.
Smoking rockets. And if Carol hadn't showed up when she did, why, we'd be...
We'd be a memory, Happy.
Yeah. And that means Ben lied to us.
They'll think that's just some mark left there by the crew that was constructing the new building when the plant closed down. But look up there.
Now I see what you got on your mind.
Of course you do, Tyler. Now, here's the way it'll work. When Corry and his cadet are standing on that mark, you'll be up there. I'll give you a signal. All you've got to do is release the cable. And a few thousand pounds of structural beams will come right down on top of it.
Yeah, it'll look like an accident. Wait a minute. How can you get Corry to come back into this unfinished building, let alone stand exactly on that spot?
'Cause old Ben, the watchman's gonna make real sure that he does.
Nobody around, Commander. It's kind of funny. The last time we tried to get in here, Mr. Halifax's right-hand man, Tyler, did his best to stop us.
Maybe this time he wants us to go inside the plant.
You know, or maybe after what happened, he left. Remember, you said you were going to take the watchman and Tyler down to headquarters for questioning. Maybe they're both hiding out someplace.
Now, what in blazes would we want to do a thing like that for? Ben, sure it is. Who'd you expect?
Maybe we didn't expect anyone.
Just on account of a few questions? Ha! Questions don't scare me none. Go ahead and ask them.
I intended to, Ben. I've been wondering why you stay here making your rounds in the plant when it's been declared unsafe.
Seems safe enough to me.
But it's contaminated with radiation. According to Mr. Halifax, the whole place could reach critical mass at any moment and just blow up.
Don't know nothing about that. All I know is I was hired to be a watchman, and that's what I do. Ain't nobody told me to go home. So I reckon I'll just stay here right on the job until they do. Any more questions?
I checked Medical Science Center, Ben. There's no record of your calling for an ambulance ship to pick up Happy and me.
That's so. I reckon that gal that took my call had something else on her mind. Some forgot it. Reminds me of the time when I was a rocket jockey for an interplanetary freight company. Forgot to make a record of a meteor I took in the hull once. Got fired. Same thing ought to happen to that gal.
Ben, exactly what do you know about our being locked in that isotope chamber yesterday?
Say, now, I'm glad you asked me that question. I got a theory. This fella Tyler that's been hanging around here, he's been acting kind of peculiar.
What do you mean?
I don't trust him. Wouldn't surprise me none if he knowed something about that.
Is Tyler here now?
Sure, he's still here. You'd think he didn't trust me to make my rounds the way he keeps hanging around.
Where is Tyler?
I can show you quick enough.
Show us.
Follow me. He's in building 34.
What's in building 34? Another isotope chamber?
Now, that's another funny thing. Ain't nothing in there. Ain't even all built yet. Come on, I'll show you. Hold it.
What's the matter?
I think I saw Tyler. Where? You two stay right here. I'll fetch him quick enough.
Commander, maybe old Ben's trying to get away himself.
Yes, that's why I keep an eye on him.
Hey, stop. I wonder what he's up to anyway.
Looks like he's waving to somebody up there.
Hey, it's Tyler, Commander. I saw him.
Pat, look out!
Do you know your test pilots? Who is this well-known flyer from St. Louis? Well, that's Phil Houghton. Test pilot for one of the hottest jets in the sky today. And now, here's Phil Houghton himself to tell you all about his up-and-atom plane, the Voodoo.
This is the famous twin-jet Air Force fighter, the Voodoo, XF-88A, developed by McDonnell Aircraft Corporation, St. Louis. And I'm Phil Houghton, the test pilot who flies it. Let me show you some more pictures of the Voodoo. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weighs 10 tons. I can't tell you how fast it can travel. That's a military secret, but believe me, it's plenty fast. And there I am climbing out of the ship after a test flight, all set to head into the ready room. After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. A test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated, bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex.
Make sure you keep yourself ready for action the way America's top test pilots, Phil Houghton, Bob Love, Tony LaVere do. Eat Wheat Chex or Rice Chex every day. The cereals that are tops three ways. Tops for taste, for size, and for real action. That's Chex, wheat, or rice. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots. And now back to Space Patrol.
Here they come, Corry.
What are the lights? Hap, look. It's glowing in the dark.
Where's the gadget from?
I left it right. Just a minute. Here it is, sir.
Turn it on. Point it toward the wall.
It registers radiation, just like the other walls we checked.
For the same reason.
You mean the only reason everybody thought this plant was hot was because of fluorescent paint on the walls?
Exactly. There's enough fluorescent paint on the hands of a watch to get a substantial reaction from a Geiger counter.
Sure there is. I've tried that myself.
These walls are just as harmless.
Hey, you were right all along. Somebody's trying to corner the market on atomic power plants. And Ben and Tyler are in on it.
We've got to get our hands on at least one of them to find out who's behind this.
Mr. Proteus, you fool! Don't you know I kept those lights turned on so nobody would discover the walls were covered with fluorescent paint? I had to do something.
Commander, there's somebody over there.
Watch out.
Tyler! Couldn't find Ben, Commander. I know he was with Tyler, though.
Take care of Ben later. Right now, I want some answers. Who's behind this, Tyler? Is it Halifax?
I don't know.
Don't lie to me. I want his name, and you're going to give it to me.
All right, I'll tell you. His name?
Commander, somebody shot him.
Keep up and talk to me.
Ben.
I'll try to find him. Take care of Tyler.
Right, sir.
Mr. Proteus, what are you doing here?
Commander Corry. Oh, my head.
What happened to you?
An old man with a mustache. He slugged me.
Oh, that would be Ben. But what are you doing here in the first place?
Well, I was looking for you. I have some new information I thought you should know about.
New information?
Yes. We just got word at Council headquarters that Halifax is willing to sell some of his stockpile of atomic power units.
But for a ridiculous figure, right?
Well, his price is high. But I think we should accept it, Commander. You're well aware of the situation we face.
Yes, and I'm aware of a few other things, too.
What do you mean?
We won't have to knuckle down to Mr. Halifax. I can soon prove that this whole thing is a premeditated plan to create a monopoly.
Are you sure?
Positive. As soon as I get the brainograph from Tyler, I'll know who's behind this.
Oh, then you don't know for sure as yet.
Just a matter of time.
Commander!
Over here, Hap.
Say, Tyler. Mr. Proteus, what are you doing?
What about Tyler?
Oh, he's in pretty bad shape, Commander. When Ben shot him, he sure didn't want him to get up again. He took a full charge.
Let's get him medical science center fast. Without him, we may never know the name of the man we're after. Come on.
Just a minute, Commander. I'll go with you.
I'm glad you were assigned to this case, Dr. Lorenz. I'm well aware of your record for treating ray gun wounds.
Good thing you got him here when you did, Commander. There's a good chance we can save him.
Do everything you can, Dr. Lorenz. It's vitally important.
I do my best. Tyler's in room 211 if you want to look in on him.
Commander, I think I'd better leave. I have some very important details to attend to in my office. You can reach me there as soon as you find out how Tyler's coming along.
All right, Mr. Proteus. We'll be in touch with him.
Fine.
It'll probably take several hours, Commander.
We'll leave you alone then, Doctor. Let us know as soon as possible.
Certainly, Commander.
Doctor, the security of the entire United Planets may depend on your saving Tyler's life. It's in your hands.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Nestle's Ever Ready, the Instant Cocoa, and famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Stand by to blast off. And just look at it go. It's the sensational Nettie Nestle space jet Commander Corry is offering to all his friends. It's unbreakable plastic in red, white, and blue. It flies, it dives, it does all kinds of tricks. And this is the greatest. It has a special compartment in the nose so you can send secret messages to all your pals in the Space Patrol. And you can have one of these sensational space jets for your very own. Just send your name and address, along with 25 cents in coin, and the lid from a can of Nestle's Ever Ready, or a tracing of the front of the Ever Ready label, to Nestle's, Box 66, New York 46, New York. It's easy to get your space jet because, naturally, you've got lots of Nestle's Ever Ready in your galley. Why, space patrollers wouldn't think of starting the day without a good hot cup of Nestle's Ever Ready, rich with that delicious Nestle's chocolate flavor. So, hurry. Send for your sensational space jet today. Here's the address again. Nestle's, Box 66, New York 46, New York. And now a scene from next week's exciting adventure, The Blazing Sun of Mercury.
How do you like it, Corry? How long do you think you can last without water? 2 hours? 1 hour? How do you like the blazing sun of Mercury?
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz and Happy, in an attempt to save the system from disaster, encounter the blazing sun of Mercury. Next week on Space Patrol. Space Patrol is brought to you today by the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, wheat checks, and rice checks. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC.
See, you asked for it on ABC television.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol.
Space Patrol is presented by Nestle's Ever Ready Cocoa in the bright red can, and those terrific Nestle's chocolate bars.
Can you still hear me? This is Mr. Proteus talking to you. I want you to remember that name. I want it to be the last name you hear. You have it much longer now. But keep this thought in your mind as you succumb to the blazing sun of Mercury. Mr. Proteus has defeated you. Mr. Proteus has won.
Stand by for exciting action on The Blazing Sun of Mercury in just one moment.
Oh, hi, Space Patrollers. I've just been going over my field kit to check my supplies, but boy, I have trouble keeping one thing. That's Nestle's chocolate bars. I eat them up as fast as I get them. And Nestle's makes the very best chocolate you've ever tasted. It's so rich, so smooth, so creamy. And it comes 3 wonderful ways. Super milk chocolate in the red and white wrapper, the almond bar with the big blue letters with all those fresh toasted almonds, and Crunch in the red and blue wrapper. That crisp, crunchy mystery quality is something you won't find in any other candy. No, sir, it's a Nestle exclusive, and it's really out of this world. Well, got to get up a big batch of bars. Calling the galley. Calling the galley. Jack, may I have a big ration of Nestle bars?
Sure thing, Commander. I'll send them right in. Fellas and girls, have you tried these wonderful Nestle's chocolate bars? Honestly, they're the greatest eating in the universe. Only Nestle's makes these 3 sensational kinds of bars, so you can pick your favorite. And only Nestle's makes Crunch, the bar everybody goes for. Crunch is really cosmic. Rich milk chocolate with a mystery kind of consistency that crunches when you bite into it. And it's crisp all the way through. So you'll be sure to ask Mom for Nestle's chocolate bar.
Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
And say, have you got your sensational jet? Today is your last chance. I'll tell you how to get your jet in just a few minutes.
Terra City and every other inhabited point in the United Planets slowly but steadily approaches disaster. Every light that is burned, every surface car that moves, every spaceship that flies, every wheel of industry that turns brings the system a step closer to destruction. For each of these consumes power, precious atomic energy, without which this 30th century civilization cannot exist.
I want you to take a squad of your security guards and go over the Halifax plant with a fine-tooth comb.
Right, sir. What'll I look for?
An old watchman named Ben. He knows that place like the back of his hand. I'm sure he'll be hiding out there.
Yes, sir. I'm on my way.
I sure wish Dr. Lorenz would let us know how Tyler's getting along.
Oh, so do I. He's the only one who can tell us the name of the man we want.
Maybe old Ben the watchman knows who's behind it, sir.
We don't have Ben yet, but we do have Tyler.
Commander Corry's office.
This is Mr. Proteus. Is the commander there?
What can I do for you, Mr. Proteus?
Can you tell me anything about Tyler?
Well, nothing yet. We haven't heard from Dr. Lorenz.
He seems to be taking a long time.
That was a bad ray gun wound he suffered.
Yeah, I know, but supposing he doesn't recover, we'd better consider that offer Mr. Halifax made.
You mean buy the Halifax Company stockpile of power units?
Well, now, understand, I realize the price is unreasonable.
Ridiculous is more like it. 1 million credits for each unit. And the normal market price is less than 1,000.
But the situation's getting critical, Commander. It won't be long until those power units will be a bargain at twice the price if it means averting disaster.
I'm sorry, Mr. Proteus. I have other plans for solving this problem.
Oh, yes, of course you do, Commander. Well, anyway, the main reason I called you was to tell you that the owner of the Matsung Atomic Products Company is here on Terra.
Matsung? Well, that's one of the other companies that shut down.
Mr. Matsung's on his way to your office right now. He should be there any minute.
Thank you, Mr. Proteus. Thank you for telling me. Corry out.
Why would Mr. Matsung be coming here to see you, sir?
Yes. Yes, send him right in. Come in, Mr. Matsung. I'm Commander Corry. This is my cadet, Happy.
How do you do, sir?
I will get right to the point, Commander.
Yes?
You are wondering why I've made the long journey to Terra to speak to you and Mr. Proteus.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
As you know, my company produces nearly 25% of the atomic power units which are used in the system.
Yes.
You are also aware that my processing plant has been condemned because of mysterious excessive radiation?
Yeah, and the same thing happened to the Halifax and Justin plants.
Happy, let Mr. Matsung finish.
Oh, sorry.
The situation is placing a great burden upon the people. However, my company possesses a stockpile of over 4,000 power units. In this so great emergency, I have decided to release them.
Mr. Matsoon, you mean you're willing to actually sell your stockpile at once?
At once, Commander.
4,000 units will do much to help the situation. The Commission will distribute them to key points. I can assure you you'll be paid the full market price for them.
My price is 1 million credits for each unit.
1 million credits.
That's no better than the offer Mr. Halifax made.
Mr. Matsoon, I find this very difficult to believe. You, the descendant of a family that for hundreds of years has fought to build a strong United Planets, a family noted for its charity. Now you're willing to squeeze a ridiculous profit out of the people when they face disaster.
I am a businessman, Commander. I must protect the Matsoon holdings.
Protect them while you watch a civilization fall. I'm sorry, Mr. Matsoon. We can't do business in your terms, now or any time. And you may as well know that... Yes. Medical Science Center, Hap.
Hot rockets.
Dr. Lorenz, are you coming with Tyler? What? When did that happen? All right, Doctor. Corry out.
What happened, sir?
Tyler's missing from his room.
Missing?
The doctor we met in Tyler's room was not Dr. Lorenz.
He wasn't?
Somebody slugged the doctor and put on his clothes. We left Tyler alone in that room with an imposter.
Smoking rockets. There goes our one chance.
Are you certain you do not wish to reconsider my offer,
Mr.
Commander?
Matsoon, I would advise you to leave. In fact, I suggest you get off Terra.
As you wish, Commander. But when you change your mind, you will find me in my office in Venus City.
Goodbye, Mr. Matsoon.
Come, Mako.
Commander, who do you think could have lifted Tyler out of Medical Science Center?
Somebody who didn't want us to use the brainograph on him. We've got to find him, Hap.
I'll say we do. Should I put out an alarm, sir?
Right away. Then we'll go to Terra. They'll probably try to get Tyler off Terra. We've got to stop them.
The interplanetary spaceport, normally the scene of great activity, has succumbed to the state of emergency that exists throughout the system. The hundreds of ships that here begin and end their long journeys through space now lie silently in their rocket chutes, victims of the all-out effort to conserve the atomic units that power them.
And you think Matsoon's visit will have the desired effect on Corry, Mr. Proteus?
Of course. It'll eventually bring him to Venus where I want him. He's already discovered that Tyler has disappeared, and of course there is no such person as Ben the Watchman.
Suppose he should try to contact Halifax here on Terra.
How can he? I have been impersonating Halifax, and I'm going to Venus.
Here they come now, Mr. Proteus.
Commander Corry, you have already come to tell me you have decided to meet my price?
Then again, maybe I came here to be sure you left.
You will come to Venus.
Goodbye, Mr. Matsoon.
Commander, do you think this Matsoon might be behind this whole deal?
He could be, and so could Halifax. It just doesn't make sense. Both those men, and Justin, too, are fabulously successful. Why would they stoop to such a thing?
You got me, sir.
And once again, the amazing Mr. Proteus emerges from another of his clever disguises. This time, Mr. Matsoon. Another time, Mr. Halifax. And yet another, Ben the Watchman. Where will he appear next time, and in what disguise? Only Mr. Proteus himself knows.
Medical Science Center calling Commander Corry.
Corry here, go ahead.
A message from Dr. Lorenz, Commander. Tyler has been found.
Found where?
In the closet of his room. He had taken another ray gun blast. We can probably save him, but he'll be unable to speak for several days.
Several days? Thank you very much, Corry. Out. Several days will be too late.
Commander!
Over here, Robbie.
Told me I'd find you here, sir.
Did you find Ben?
No, sir. We covered every corner of the Halifax plant. Found these, though. Thought maybe you could make something out of them.
It's a wig. What's a wig doing in an atom plant?
Happy, we've seen this before.
We have, sir? Where?
On Ben, the Watchman.
But, Commander, that wig's phony.
So was Ben. Sure, it fits. Robbie, no wonder you couldn't find Ben. There isn't any such person.
Oh, but Commander...
Happy, when Ben disappeared, who did we find?
Mr. Proteus.
The phony doctor showed up as Dr. Lorenz, who had just left.
Mr. Proteus.
And who's been advising us to accept a ridiculous offer made by Halifax?
Mr. Proteus.
One more question, Hap. What's the name of the mythical sea god with the ability to change his appearance at will?
Proteus.
Now, look, wait a minute, Commander. Look, you're racing your rockets a little too fast for me.
Don't you see, Robbie? We've been searching for a name. A missing piece to the puzzle, and the name Proteus fits it like a glove. That's the one we want.
Great. All we have to do is go to his office and pick him up and arrest him.
He's not there, Happy. In fact, he's not even on Terra.
How do you know that, sir?
Just saw him blast off.
Oh, but that was Mr. Matsoon.
Not only Mr. Matsoon, Mr. Halifax, Mr. Justin, Ben the Watchman, the phony doctor, and Mr. Proteus all rolled into one.
Smoking rockets, and we let him get away.
We're going to accept that invitation. All three of us. We're going to Venus.
Stand by to blast off. And just look at it go. It's the sensational Nettie Nestle space jet Commander Corry is offering to all his friends. Now, fellas and girls, this is your last chance to get the space jet everybody's been sending for. Yes, after today, this offer will never be made again. And you've just got to get this great space jet. It's really out of this world. All unbreakable plastic in red, white, and blue. You can throw it long, long distances, make it loop, dive, and do lots of tricks. And it has a hidden compartment here in the nose, so you can send secret messages to all your pals. Now, you can have this space jet for your very own. Well, it's simple. Just send your name and address and 25 cents in coin, plus the lid from a can of Nestle's Ever-Ready or the tracing of the front of the Ever-Ready label to Nestle, Box 66, New York 46, New York. And it's easy to get your space jet because, naturally, you've got lots of Nestle's Ever-Ready in your galley. Why, space patrollers wouldn't think of starting the day without a good hot cup of Nestle's, rich with that delicious Nestle chocolate flavor. Now, space patrollers, this is absolutely the last time we'll make this sensational offer. This is your last chance, so hurry. Don't be left out. You send your name and address, plus 25 cents in coin. No stamps, please. And the lid from a can of Nestle's Ever-Ready or a tracing of the front of the Ever-Ready label to Nestle, Box 66, New York 46, New York. Do it today. Now back to Space Patrol.
The fast Space Patrol battlecruiser Terra 5 speeds through space, carrying its 3 passengers quickly to their destination, Venus. And a few minutes later, Buzz, Happy, and Robbie are admitted to the private office of Mr. Matsoon.
Welcome to Venus, Commander. You arrived even sooner than I expected.
I came here to see you, Mr. Matsung, not to listen to your voice over a loudspeaker.
Unfortunately, you did not come prepared to see me, Commander, obviously. You did not bring the money with which to purchase my power units.
Maybe you'd better come out in the open so we can discuss this matter further.
We have already discussed the matter. Until you bring the money in cash, I have nothing more to say.
Come out in the open and show yourself.
Commander, this isn't getting us anywhere. Maybe this will.
I repeat, come out and show yourself, Mr. Proteus.
Proteus. All right, come on, take it easy, Buster.
You're more clever than I thought, Commander. I didn't expect you to discover me quite so soon.
I arrest you in the name of the United Planets.
I'm sorry, Commander, but it isn't quite that easy. You see, Commander, I was expecting you after all.
All right, Proteus, so we walked into your trap. At least you're out in the open now where we can see what you really are.
I hope it makes you very happy, Commander. After all, your last moments should be happy ones, don't you think?
I'd be a lot happier if your face was just a little closer to my fist.
What did you do with the three men you abducted?
I presume you're referring to the real Halifax, Matsung, and Justin.
Where are they?
It's a funny thing that you should ask that, Commander. It just so happens that I'm going to take you to them now. Although, I doubt very much if you'll enjoy the trip. You see, for the three of you, it'll be one way. All right, men, bring them along.
All right, take it easy. Watch it.
Marco, you will bring Corry's ship. I want it out of sight so it doesn't arouse any curiosity after they disappear.
Under the command of the evil Mr. Proteus, the two ships cut through space toward Mercury. Mercury, the smallest planet in the solar system, the planet nearest to the sun, the planet that keeps the same side toward the sun at all times. And that side is as unbelievably scorching hot as the shady side is frigid. As the ships land on the sunny side of Mercury's twilight belt, where the shadows meet the intense light rays, a small spherical structure comes into view. A few minutes later, the three prisoners are herded inside.
Corry, do you know where you are? I'll tell you. We're on the fringe of the twilight belt on the sunny side of Mercury. The temperature outside is 160 degrees. In here, you're protected from the intense heat by the roof. But you see, it's a sliding roof. Marco, show them. How do you like that, Corry? This is payment in full for your interference in my claim. How long do you think you can live, Corry? 160 degrees. How long without water? 2 hours, maybe? 1 hour? How do you like the blazing sun of Mercury, huh?
Let him stick around, Fido! Get him off the ball!
Enjoy yourself, Corry. I assure you I'm going to.
Smoking rockets, Commander. What are we going to do? This heat is awful.
Commander, my name's Justin.
It's Justin. Then they are here, all three of them.
Matsoon and Halifax are the 2 cells beyond mine.
Are they all right, Mr. Justin? Are you all right?
So far, yes, Commander. But please, you must help me get out of here. Matsoon is too old to stand there.
Age isn't going to make any difference. We'll get us all sooner or later.
I can feel it already. I sure wish I had a glass of water or something.
We'll do everything we can, Mr. Justin. Right now, I can't tell you what that'll be. There should be a weak spot around here someplace. You better find it fast.
Incidentally, Corry, it's useless to try to get out of that cell. It was designed to hold a much greater force than you can produce. How are you bearing up under the heat? It's very pleasant where I am. Nice and cool.
He won't be so nice and cool if I ever get my hands on him. And that's beginning to look kind of doubtful.
Let's try this door again, all 3 of us.
Commander, Justin's made it. Go on the other. There won't be long before we do it. It's not much more than 6 feet. It might work.
What might work?
Take off your belts.
Quick work at that. Get him.
Keep trying, Commander. Keep trying.
I got it. Hot rockets. Hey!
Commander Corry.
Proteus, he's been watching us.
Can you still hear me, Commander? This is Mr. Proteus talking to you. I want you to remember that name, Commander. I want it to be the last name you hear. You have it much longer now. But keep this thought in your mind as you succumb to the blazing sun of Mercury. Mr. Proteus has defeated you. Mr. Proteus has won.
A recording machine.
Proteus is impersonating himself.
Well, anyway, now it'll be a cinch to pick him up after we get back to Terra.
I hope so, but he has a head start on us. If it's humanly possible, we're going to stop Proteus from becoming the richest man in history at the expense of the people of the United Planets. Robbie, release those 3 men. We're blasting off.
Corry's finished by now. Corry and the others. There's no one to interfere.
We're approaching Terra now, Mr. Proteus.
From here on in, Marco, it'll be a cinch. Like taking candy from a baby.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard packages.
You. Yes, gang, here's what Buzz Corry wants you to do. He wants you to reach up on the grocery shelf and take down a package of checks, rice or wheat. Tops for taste. Rice Chex is crisp, sunny, bright, shredded rice, oven toasted 3 times. Wheat Chex is tops for taste, too. Rich, golden brown, shredded whole wheat. Man, oh man, but it's good. Tops for size. You betcha. Chex are bite-size, just the right size for a spoon. And hey, it's a bite that tastes real George. Tops for get up and go. For the kind of energy you need to be a whiz at baseball and other sports, just have yourself a nourishing breakfast with Chex. Get them today in the red and white checkerboard packages with Buzz Corry or Cadet Happy on the outside and the free Space Patrol trading cards on the inside. Tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. And now a scene from next week's exciting adventure. The Big Proteus Swindle.
If we don't get back to Terra soon, Proteus will wreck the United Planets, and you two get off the ship.
Off the ship?
I thought we were blasting off, sir. We are. That is, if nothing happens when I press the starter switch.
Yeah, but Commander, if we didn't get all those explosives, well, you and the ship might be blown up.
Well, at least you two will be left to tell Terra about Proteus. Now get out of here.
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz risks his own life to save Happy and Robbie in his attempt to stop the Big Proteus Swindle next week on Space Patrol. Patrol was brought to you by Nestle's Ever Ready, the Instant Cocoa, and famous Nestle's Chocolate Bars. Remember, Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
See, you asked for it on ABC Television.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Brought to you by the Checkerboard Super Cereals, Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston.
Lasers, they're flying right across our bow. Well, they probably tried to contact us, and we don't have a spacer phone.
Stand by for exciting action on the Big Proteus Swindle in just one moment. Chex ring the bell. I think they're swell. That's what I think about Rice Chex, but say, how about you? What words would you use to tell how good Rice Chex are? Well, when I asked a schoolboy here on Terra to write down for me what he thought about Rice Chex, here's what he showed me. Rice Chex. Good to eat and very neat. Rice Chex, just right for a bite.
He's right. Rice Chex has a perfect size for a spoon, the perfect fit for your mouth. Yes, Rice Chex are tops for size. So today, get the cereal your commander goes for, Rice Chex.
Now, when I asked a schoolgirl here on Terra to write down on paper for me what she thought about Rice Chex, here's what she showed me. Rice Chex, the bite-sized cereal that tastes as good as it looks. Yes, sir, looks good, is good. Rice Chex, 3 times toasted to make it 3 times as good. Tops for taste, you bet. And say, a nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex is tops for get up and go. A kind of rip-roaring, high-soaring energy that'll help make you a winner in sports and in your studies. And say, Chex come in whole wheat flavor, too. Wheat Chex, bite-sized biscuits spun out of keen-tasting shredded whole wheat. And inside every package of Chex, you get one of those great new free Space Patrol trading cards. Get Chex today. Tops 3 ways. For size, for taste, for get up and go. Rice Chex. Wheat Chex.
Buzz Corry, Cadet Happy, and Major Robertson have escaped from their cell in the Mercury hideout of Proteus and are hurriedly freeing the other captives, Halifax, Matsung, and Justin, so they can blast off in pursuit of the evil Proteus. Meanwhile, aboard his own ship, headed for Terra, where he can put his ruthless plan of impersonation into effect, is the master of disguise himself, Mr. Proteus. Certain that he has succeeded in doing away with the 3 space patrolmen and the 3 industrialists whom he has been impersonating, he deftly applies a disguise. Trained fingers work rapidly to transform Mr. Proteus, the trusted director of the United Planets Fissionable Materials Council, into an exact duplicate of industrialist Henry Halifax. Marco, a trusted assistant, watches, greatly impressed with the amazing transformation that is taking place before his eyes. Then Marco has a sudden thought.
Mr. Proteus, I know it's not very likely, but what if Corry and the others should escape from their cells?
Marco, you underestimate me.
No, sir, I only mean that we left Corry's ship there. If they should manage to escape, they'll try to beat us back to Terra. Certainly space a phone ahead and warn them.
Exactly. But Marco, if they should, as you suggest, break out of their cells, let me assure you they'll never get any farther than Corry's ship.
Boy, it sure does feel good to be back aboard Terra 5 again.
How's Mr. Matsoon holding up, Robbie? I mean the real one.
No, pretty well, sir. Halifax is looking after him. Justin's lying down, too. He'll be all right after a little rest away from that awful heat.
You better call the Secretary General and tell him about Proteus.
Smoking rockets, that's right. Well, they don't even know that Proteus is behind this whole deal. I'll make the call for you, sir.
Go ahead.
What happened? Spacephones blew up when Hap switched on.
Proteus.
Yes, he thinks of everything. Happy! Oh. Happy, all right.
Smoking rockets, I think so. Boy, that spacephone sure talked back to me. And I didn't even say anything to it.
See what the damage is. I'll tell our passengers what the noise is all about.
Yes, sir.
Gee, Major, now we're really going to have to make tracks. Boy, oh, boy. That Proteus and his disguises. Would I like to get my hands on him, I'd change his appearance.
Explosive charges in the spacephones. That's ingenious, Mr. Proteus.
Yes, but you should see what's waiting for them if they should try to fire rockets.
You wired their starter switch, too?
Marco, if they hit that starter lever, our friend Corry and everyone aboard the Terra 5 will be blown to atoms.
Well, that's about all the damage there is, Major. Spacephone's a mess, but it didn't hurt the ship controls. It'll fly, all right.
Okay, then what are we waiting for?
Fire rocket, sir?
Yep, fire rocket, sir.
Happy, hold it!
Huh?
Get your hand off that starter switch.
But, Commander, I was just going to blast off.
I told him to fire rockets, sir. Anything wrong?
Oh, I don't know, but what just happened a minute ago?
Well, the spacephone blew up when I flicked the switch.
What do you think might happen if you throw the starter switch?
Well, the whole ship might blow up. Blow up? Smoking rockets, Commander. You don't think the starter switch is gimmick, too?
I'm not sure, but we already know that Proteus is a man who doesn't leave anything to chance. Can you think any reason why he wouldn't rig the starter switch?
It makes sense, all right.
I'll take your word for it.
We'd better go back to the engine room and go over every inch of it.
I hope we find some explosives, too.
You hope we do?
Well, yes, sir. Then we can disconnect it. But, well, if we don't find any, we'll never be sure that we just didn't miss it, and I don't think my nerves could stand the suspense.
We're approaching Terra now, Mr. Proteus. What's our first move?
Well, first, as director of the Fissionable Materials Commission, I'll make a few spaceophone calls to set the wheels in motion. With the special emergency powers the Security Council has granted me, it'll be no trouble to get an authorization to buy power units.
Then, as Mr. Halifax, I will personally accept the money.
You certainly are clever, Mr. Proteus.
You should be Secretary General. Secretary General? Marco, after we receive the money for Halifax, to say nothing of the Matsung and Justin companies, we'll be able to buy and sell 100 Secretaries General.
The approach warning. We're ready to land on...
Capital of the United Planet. The feeling of impending disaster is evident in the strange silence that has fallen over Terra City itself. At Buzz's central office at Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Carol, daughter of the Secretary General, informs her father of a new situation that is developing.
The report just came in, Dad. There must have been 2,000 or 3,000 people. Yes, they tried to force their way inside the Halifax atomic plant. Well, I don't know, but word must have leaked out that Halifax was demanding such a ridiculous price for his stockpile of power units. Oh, no, Dad, Buzz isn't here. Neither is Hap or Robbie. Major Colwell's in charge till they get back. But, Dad, I'm worried. All these riots breaking out, and something might have happened to Buzz.
Take a look.
Smoking rockets, Commander. I'm sure glad you stopped me from hitting that starter switch. There's enough explosive here to make dust out of this ship and everybody aboard it.
I'm still wondering whether we found all of it.
So am I, Robbie.
Well, we went over every inch of the engine compartment.
You think we did, Hap, but we can't be absolutely sure without dismantling the whole ship.
Smoking rockets, now you got me worried again. I thought we were all set to blast off after Proteus.
If we don't get Proteus soon, he'll wreck the entire system.
You're right, Robbie. Can't waste another minute. You two get off the ship.
Off the ship?
I thought we were blasting off, sir.
We are. That is, if nothing happens when I throw the starter switch.
When... But, Commander, if we didn't find all the explosive, why... It might blow you and the ship to pieces.
And if the three of us are on board, it'll get us all.
Oh, now, look, Commander, I say let's all take our chances together.
Now, look, both. Security of the entire system depends on our stopping Proteus from carrying out his plan. We're the only ones who know he's behind this.
Well, but, Commander,
So we can't afford to take a risk. Take the passengers and yourselves off the ship. If nothing happens, when I throw the starter switch, come back aboard fast and we'll make tracks for Terra.
Well, Commander, let me do it. I'm just a cadet.
No time to argue. Now move on the double.
And a few minutes later, when he is sure the passengers have been removed from the ship, Buzz takes his place in the cockpit of the fast battlecruiser, fully aware that these could be his last moments. Fully aware that if they have failed to find all of the hidden explosive, his next move could result in a tremendous explosion that would reduce the ship to dust and mean the end of the Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Grimly, he places his hand on the starter lever.
Robbie, Hap, get back aboard, quick! We're on our way to Terra.
Okay, so let's go. What are we waiting for?
Nothing. Whoa!
Commander Corry's office.
Is that you, Miss Carlisle? This is Mr. Proteus. May I speak with Commander Corry, please?
Well, he isn't here, Mr. Proteus, and I haven't heard from him. In fact, I was hoping you might know where he'd gone.
No, I'm sorry he didn't tell me. But there's something much more urgent to concern ourselves with at the moment. The Security Council has authorized the purchase of the power units from the three companies.
Those prices?
we're faced with a very serious emergency, Miss Carlisle. We must act quickly. Who's in charge in Commander Corry's absence?
Well, Major Caldwell, he's here right now, but can't we wait until Buzz gets back?
I'm sorry, but minutes count. Please inform Major Caldwell that it's his responsibility to see that the money gets to Mr. Halifax. He's to pick it up at the Terra Bank's main vault. 6 billion credits for 6,000 power units. And tell him to be sure the money is heavily guarded. It's all in cash.
6 billion credits in cash?
Yes, it was necessary to drain the cash reserves of the entire system to make the 6 million, plus 4 billion for Matsoom and 2 billion for the Justin Company. But the first delivery is to Henry Halifax himself.
This is outrageous.
I know how you must feel about it, Miss Carlisle, but there's nothing we can do about it. And there's no time to talk about it further. Please see that Major Caldwell gets on the job immediately. Proteus out. You see, Marco, how easy it is without Corry around to get in my hair?
Oh, you mean in Mr. Halifax's hair, don't you?
How we doing? Open rockets. We just had a spacer phone. We could call ahead and warn them about Proteus.
If we didn't got on the outer hull with our miniature spacer phone, they wouldn't have enough range to do us any good.
Yeah, Proteus has had time to get to Terra already.
He's probably putting his plan into effect by now.
Come in, and move lively. I'm a very busy man.
Put the money here on the desk, men, and stand guard outside.
Is it all here? 6 billion in cash?
I can assure you, Mr. Halifax, but I'm not going to wait till you count it. Sign this.
Hey, fellas and girls, you know who this is? He started flying at the age of 15, and now he's a well-known record-breaking aviator. This is Tony LaVere, test pilot on the Starfire, the famous jet plane assigned to the vital mission of defending our homeland. But let's watch Tony make a test flight right now. Okay, come in, Tony LaVere.
Here's the Starfire, the Air Force Interceptor F-94C, designed by the Lockheed Aircraft Corporation, Burbank, California. Packing 48 rockets, the radar-controlled Starfire can take off, find the enemy, and attack day or night. Speed, more than 600 miles per hour. Hello, I'm Tony LaVere, test pilot of the Starfire. Now I'd like to show you how we make a quick stop on a short runway. Boy, it's sure a good feeling for a pilot to have that parachute pop out and slow down his plane like that. You know, good health is important to a test pilot, and I have to stay in top condition. I get lots of rest and eat plenty of good food. That's why I like a good cereal for breakfast, like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They have real energy and they taste swell. Why don't you try them?
No other cereal, popped or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Get some at your grocer's today.
Make sure you keep yourself ready for action the way Tony LaVere, Bob Love, Phil Houghton, and lots of other famous test pilots do. Eat Rice Chex and Wheat Chex every morning. The cereals that are tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. That's Chex, rice or wheat. And now back to Space Patrol.
There you are. Well, you may leave. You have no further business here.
You must be very proud of yourself, you traitor.
Get out of this office before I have you thrown out.
Don't start anything you can't finish, Halifax.
Take your filthy hands off me. I know my rights as a citizen.
Your rights as a citizen. The word citizen and the name Halifax should never be mentioned in the same breath.
Well,
I gather that she doesn't think very much of Mr. Halifax.
Everything went very smoothly, sir.
Yes, Marco.
Hardly a hitch.
1 down and 2 to go.
Whom do you impersonate next?
Matsoon.
Ah.
We must hurry to get to Venus so I can appear as the...
Honorable Mr. Matsoon, I received the 4 billion credits for his power unit.
Major, I'm going to Venus with you to take the money to Matsoon. It's hard to believe there could be another man in the system as low as Halifax. But if there is, I want to see him.
Take over, Hap.
Yes.
Well, we may as well face it, Commander. We'll never get back to Terra in time to keep Proteus from getting the money from Halifax's power units.
Yeah, and then he'll skip out, and the next thing we know, he'll pull up the Matsoon deal on Venus.
Why didn't I think of that before?
Think of what, sir?
What's our position now, Hap?
Well, we're still a long way from Terra, Commander. We just passed Venus a little while ago. Venus, I get it.
You'll be waiting for him there at Matsoon's office.
I'll bring the ship about.
Hey, there's a break, son. There's a ship out there, a space patrol ship.
That is a break. Hap.
Yes, sir?
Get into a spacesuit as fast as you can. Go in the outer hull and contact that ship with your suit's spacerphone. They can relay the information about Proteus.
I'm practically outside right now, sir.
I'll put alongside.
What a beautiful sight.
Major, there's no doubt about it. That is Commander Corry's ship. Calling Commander Corry aboard Terra 5. Come in, please. Buzz, this is Carol. Do you read me? Major, they're bearing down on us. Buzz, this is Carol. Do you read me? There could only be one answer to this, Major. Someone else must be in command of Buzz's ship. They're trying to get closer to us. Maybe they know we're carrying all that money.
Order them to stand off 10 DUs, or we'll fire.
Space cruiser T-26 to Terra 5. Stand off 10 DUs or we'll fire. Major, they're still coming.
Blazes, they're flying across our bow. Probably trying to contact us, and we don't have a spacerphone. Happy, hurry up.
I'm hurrying, sir. I'm on my way, Commander.
No use asking for it. Better pull away a little bit so they won't think we're trying to attack them.
They're coming about and pulling away. Well, that settles it. There is something wrong on that ship. We're going after them, Major. I'm going to fire on target.
Come on, Happy boy. Hurry, hurry.
Well, here it goes, and this time I won't miss.
Terra 5 to Space Patrol Ship T-26. Cadet Happy speaking. Hold your fire.
Happy, and I almost blew that ship up.
I'm contacting you with a suit spacerphone from the outer hull. Our long-range equipment is out of order.
Happy, this is Carol.
Carol? What are you doing out here? I'm on my way to Venus with Major Caldwell to take the money to the Matsoon Company. Is Buzz all right? Sure. He and Major Robertson are aboard the ship. And boy, will they be glad to know it's you. We were headed for Matsoon's office on Venus, too. Now we can all go together.
I better hurry and get into the disguise of Matsung before they get here with the money.
I wonder who that could be.
I'll answer and find out.
Mr. Matsung's office. Yes. Oh, yeah, they're here already. The major, the girl, and the money.
Have them come in. I can still make an appearance as Matsung.
Mr. Matsung says, have them come in. Put those right down over there, close to the wall. Good. Mr. Matsung will be with you in a moment. I must ask you to wait, however.
Who says we have to wait?
Put that back on.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, Commander, you can come in now. Corry!
Well, Mr. Proteus, delighted to see you again.
How did you do it? How did you do it?
Well, it's a long story, Proteus, but you're going to have a long time to hear it.
The lights!
Watch Proteus!
Commander, Proteus disappeared.
Hap, hang on to this one.
Got him, sir.
We've got to get Proteus before he gets out of the building.
I think you'll have to admit, Marco, I'm still a master of disguise.
Mr. Proteus.
Come, now's our chance. We'll get out the back way. And Marco, we still have all the Halifax money. I think we'll be able to get along on 6 billion credits, don't you?
What happened?
So I was going to ask you, what happened after I left you here to guard Marco?
Me, sir? I don't know. I don't remember anything after I got caught, right after the lights went out.
After the lights went out? That means Proteus was here all the time.
Yeah.
I left Marco with him.
Look, Commander, at least Proteus can't do any more damage. Now that the real Halifax, Matsung, and Justin are back at their business, they'll be able to produce all the power units the system needs.
Yes, Robbie, that's one problem solved, but Proteus is still at large, and he has 6 billion credits that belong to the United Planets.
Yeah, and he's not going to be very easy to find, either.
I'll have to admit he's a master of disguise.
Yeah. You know, that character could be standing right next to you, and you wouldn't even recognize him.
Come on, Marco.
Yes, Mr. Proteus.
Say, wait for Mr. Matsung. Huh?
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Nestle's Ever Ready, the instant cocoa, and famous Nestle's chocolate bar. Well, Space Patrollers, we can't tell you how the Commander and Hap are going to solve this big problem, but there's one thing you can be sure of. They'll be calling for plenty of Nestle's Ever Ready cocoa to help them with their figuring. Fellas and girls, Nestle's Ever Ready cocoa is one of the greatest tasting energy builders you can have. It's a delicious hot chocolate drink full of rich whole milk and sugar. It's got what you need for strong, healthy bodies and keen, alert minds. And nothing could be easier than making some Nestle's Ever Ready cocoa all by yourself. All you do is put in 1, 2, 3 teaspoons in your cup, add hot water, and there you have it. Space Patrollers, Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa is the standard Space Patrol mealtime drink. And between meals, too. So be sure to ask Mom to bring home the big red and yellow can of Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa. Remember,
Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
now a scene from next week's exciting adventure, the escape of Mr. Proteus. I'm listening.
And listen closely, Commander. Major Robertson is my prisoner. What's more, he's hidden where you'll never find him. Now get this. If you ever want to see him alive, again, these are my terms. You'll guarantee safe passage out of this building and off Venus for Marco and me and the money. Well, speak up, Corry. Major Robertson's life depends on your answer.
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz is faced with a decision which could cost Robbie his life when he tries to prevent the escape of Mr. Proteus. Next week on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, Wheat Chex, and Rice Chex. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
Adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol.
Space Patrol is presented by Nestle's Ever-Ready Cocoa in the bright red can and those terrific Nestle's chocolate bars. I'm listening.
Major Robertson is my prisoner. He's hidden where you'll never find him. Now get this. If you ever want to see him alive again, you'll guarantee safe passage out of this building and off Venus. For Marco and me and the money. Now speak up, Corry. Major Robertson's life depends on your answer.
Stand by for exciting action on the escape of Mr. Proteus in just one moment.
Oh, excuse me, Jack. I didn't know anybody was in here.
Oh, it's okay, Hap. I'm just checking supplies.
Smoking rockets. I just remembered. I got something to do. I'll see you later, Jack.
Hey, wait a minute, Hap. What's eating you?
Well, nothing. I mean, are you missing any Nestle's chocolate bars? I mean, do you count everything?
Well, I try, Hap, but it's kind of hard keeping count of these Nestle's bars because you and everybody else always help themselves.
Well, jumping Jupiter, it's no wonder. There's just no chocolate bar in the whole universe with that great Nestle's chocolate flavor. And say, you know, it gives you a real boost. That Nestle's gives you a real boost in between meals. It's sort of an extra energy ration when you've been working real hard. Well, I gotta go now, Jack. I'll see you later.
Hey, wait a minute, Hap. Haven't you forgotten something?
I don't think so.
Sure you have. You forgot your Nestle's bars. Here.
Smoking rockets. How do you know what I came in here for? Hey!
Space Patrollers, everybody goes for those delicious super chocolate Nestle's bars because, well, there's just no other chocolate that gives you such rich, smooth eating. Like this Nestle's milk chocolate bar. Just melts in your mouth. Or the almond bar. Smooth milk chocolate packed with crisp, freshly toasted almonds. And, of course, Nestle's Crunch. This is America's favorite. And Mom knows Nestle's chocolate bars are made with pure whole milk and sugar, so they give you plenty of pep. So whichever bar you like best, be sure you buy Nestle's. And remember...
N-E-S-T-L-E-S. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
Venus, home of the Matsung Atomic Products Company. It is here that Buzz Corry has concentrated his forces in an effort to put to an end the big swindle perpetrated by Mr. Proteus, director of the United Planets Fissionable Materials Council. It is here, on Venus, in Matsung's office, that he cornered the wily Mr. Proteus, only to discover that he had slipped through his fingers again by employing another disguise. So adept and swift is the evil swindler at changing his appearance that he's managed to elude detection on Terra, Mercury, and Venus, and has escaped with 6 billion United Planets credits.
6 billion credits? Smoking rockets, Commander. I didn't know the United Planets had that much money.
There's 6 billion less if we don't find Proteus.
Commander, I checked with Major Caldwell. He set up an airtight security to the spaceport. Proteus will never get off Venus.
Good. Did Carol go with him?
Yes, sir. Oh, and they put the Matsung money in a safe place, too.
Oh, what a slippery character that Proteus is. You know, he could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't even recognize him. See, right now, I can imagine I hear his voice.
It's not your imagination, Happy. All right, Proteus, what's on your mind?
Before I left Venus, I wanted to thank you for the use of your guard's helmet in making my escape. And I wanted to tell you goodbye, Commander. I'll be blasting off in a few seconds.
Oh, it's very interesting.
How does it feel, Corry? How does it feel to know that I've escaped right from under your nose again,
Robbie?
Yes, sir.
Let's increase the guard around this building. We'll throw a cordon around it so tight that we can't even get out.
But, Commander, shouldn't we be headed for the spaceport? I mean, if Proteus is about to blast off, well, shouldn't we stop him?
He's not at the spaceport, Happy.
But, Commander, he just said
I don't care what he said. With Major Caldwell commanding the forces there, he doesn't have a chance to blast off.
Well, then where is he?
Right here in this building.
How do you know that?
He just told me so.
Huh?
That call was another Proteus trick to draw us away. Can you think of any reason why he'd want us to leave here unless he were still here himself?
No, sir, I think you're right.
Sure. Hiding out in the last place you'd expect to find him. That's Proteus, all right. And I'll bet he's got Marco with him.
I'll check the outside guard right now, sir.
Go on, Robbie, make sure the building's cleared of all personnel.
Got it.
Oh, and send in a couple of squad leaders right away.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait, Happy, you stay here with me. We'll set up headquarters right here in Matsung's office. Take your squads and conduct a thorough search of every room and office in this building. You start with the first floor and work your way up. You start with this floor and work your way down, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Gee, Commander, I wonder where they could be hiding. This is an awful big building.
Mr. Proteus. Mr. Proteus.
Yes, Marco, what is it?
It didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
I mean, Corry doesn't believe we're at the spaceport. They've doubled the security guard around the building. They've evacuated everybody who works here. It's going to be impossible to escape from this building. We're trapped.
Marco, we're not trapped.
The place is swarming with security guards.
Ah, yes, but we have a friend who's going to see that we get out.
Friend? Who?
The chief maintenance engineer of this building.
Oh, but Mr. Proteus. Ah, not Proteus.
Gimpy, the maintenance engineer.
The harmless old duffer who's going to get rid of Commander Corry. But first... Hide that money where I told you to. We can't have them finding that.
Every floor has been searched.
All right, take your squad and work your way clear up to the top, and don't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
Well, thin air couldn't get through that cordon of guards out there.
Is everyone out of the building?
Yes, sir, all except one.
Who's that?
It's an old character. Calls himself Gimpy.
Gimpy?
Yeah, chief engineer of the building. Offers his services, says he knows the entire building. Well, figures he can help us out, so I told him he could stay.
Building engineer. How was he dressed?
Dressed? Coveralls, cap.
Where is he now?
Outside, sir.
Good. Have him come in.
Yes, sir. All right, come in, young fella.
I'm Commander Corry, Mr.
Just call me Gimpy, Captain. It's on account of my leg. Hurt it 10 years ago, right here on the job. Seems like only yesterday, though. Never forget it. I was climbing around on top of the atmosphere plant washing tank. That's where we keep the water for washing.
Excuse me, Gimpy, I'd like to ask a favor.
As I say, the water is used for cleaning the air as it... Favor? Well, sure, Captain.
Commander.
Commander, anything I can do.
Do you have any more work clothes like those you're wearing?
Like these? Ain't very clean, are they? But we get kind of dirty working around in the basement.
Do you have more?
Sure, all my men wear them.
Could you fit the three of us?
Huh?
Major Robertson, Cadet Happy, and me. Can you fit us with work clothes like you and your crew wear?
Well, why didn't you say it's what you wanted? Of course I can. Got a whole storeroom full of them down in the basement.
Robbie, go with him. Bring back the outfits.
Yes, sir.
Commander, what are you going to do with those outfits?
Try to beat Proteus at his own game of disguise. We can move around the building easier if you look like part of the maintenance crew. Maybe we can get closer to Proteus and his friend Marco.
Didn't hear nothing?
Sounded like it came from there, the atmosphere washing plant.
Oh, it was probably just the sound of the water. There's a big water tank in there, 30 feet deep. You mind, I was telling you, that's where I hurt my leg. Like I said, there ain't nobody in here. Must have just been the water.
No, it wasn't. It sounded more like footsteps.
Now, how could it be steps when there ain't nobody to make them?
Must be an answer somewhere.
Good work, Marco.
Let's drag him into the storeroom.
He's ought to do for the commander.
What are these for?
Commander Corry and his cadet. Yeah. And these ought to just about be right for the cadet.
Yeah, it's a pretty good fit, Commander. How's yours?
That'll do.
Yeah.
Here, try these. Skippy, where did you say Major Robertson was?
Oh, he thought he heard a noise. Took off down the corridor. Said I should come back here with the clothes. Told me to get right back there, though. Maybe I could show him the layout down there.
All right, thanks.
Oh, glad to be a help.
Maintenance Engineer Happy reporting for duty, sir. Where do we start?
Well,
The entire building has been covered. Nothing remains but the basement.
there's your answer, Hap.
The basement?
Yes. Maybe Robbie is on the track of something. Let's go.
Corry! This is Proteus. Listen. And listen carefully.
I'm listening.
Major Robertson is my prisoner. He's hidden where you'll never find him. Now get this. If you ever want to see him alive again, you will guarantee safe passage out of the building and off Venus. For Marco and me and the money. Now speak up, Corry. Major Robertson's life depends on your answer.
Say, Space Patrollers, while we have a minute or two, why don't you come on in the galley and join me in a cup of Nestle's Ever Ready, that sensational instant cocoa. You know, there's nothing in the universe that can match this rich, smooth, honest-to-chocolate flavor that makes Nestle's Ever Ready such a big favorite. And say, isn't it keen the way you can make your very own cup of Nestle's Ever Ready anytime you want it? Sure you can. Simple. Simple as 1, 2, 3. You just put 1, 2, 3 teaspoons in your cup, add hot water, and you're all ready to enjoy the greatest cocoa you can make. Delicious. And like all Nestle's products, Nestle's Ever Ready is made of only the very finest ingredients. Rich whole milk and sugar are already in it for easy making and real energy building. Yes, Space Patrollers, you can tell Mom what Commander Corry always says. Nestle's Ever Ready is full of the good things that are good for you. That's why all Space Patrollers drink it every single day. Whenever you like to drink it, just be sure to ask Mom to get Nestle's Ever Ready in the big red and yellow can. That's Nestle's Ever Ready Cocoa. It's out of this world. And now back to Space Patrol.
Commander, what are we going to do? Maybe they really do have Major Robertson.
Come on, Corry, let's have your answer.
Proteus, this building is completely surrounded. You know as well as I do you haven't a chance to escape. I'm warning you. For your own safety, you better make sure that nothing happens to Major Robertson. Very sure.
Blasted fool, Corry. Didn't work. It didn't work. And that's the second plan you've had that failed.
Shut up or I'll see that something happens to you.
Well, what are we going to do?
I'm not through yet. And I think Major Robertson is still going to get us out of here.
Somebody's telling Corry and Cadet.
Glad to see you.
What's up?
In there, heard somebody talking at first. Then it sounded like a fight.
Say, Mr. Gimpy, Haven't I seen you someplace before? Mr. Gimpy someplace before, but I hadn't. He just reminded me of somebody else. Ben, the watchman at the Halifax plant.
Happy, all right?
Sure. I knew I'd think of it before very long. Commander, Ben was...
Yes, Ben, the watchman, was actually Proteus in disguise.
Well, then that means that...
That means we've been talking to Proteus again without knowing it.
And he even helped us. Smoking rockets, a lot of good of these disguises are doing us. He was the guy that gave them to us. Hey!
We got work fast. Not the rope. Take his coats off. I'll take him.
Watch Marco. Proteus is the tank. Get him out, but don't let him get away. You'll be all right now. Smoking rockets, Commander. What's been going on?
Corry here.
This is Captain Clark, sir. Major Robertson just left the building. Wanted me to tell you you'll find Proteus in the washing plant tank.
All right, Captain Corry. What did he say? Robbie left the building?
I didn't even know you'd found Major Robertson, sir.
I didn't. Proteus was in the tank, but how did Robbie know about that? And why did he leave the building? Something doesn't make sense.
Where are you going?
The washing plant.
Oh, well, wait for me, all right?
God, what in blazes? Proteus! Robbie!
Commander, what's that? Well, I get me.
Are you all right, Robbie?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Hey, give me a hand.
Okay.
Commander, what's going on in there?
Hang on to it. Snap, I found Robbie and the guard I left here. They were both knocked out. Also found the 6 billion credits.
Now I really am confused.
I think it makes sense now. This, after the captain called me.
Yeah, he said Major Robertson left the building.
Proteus left the building disguised as Robbie.
Oh, no, not again.
He left that message with the captain so we'd find Robbie. He'd have the last laugh. That answers all our questions, Hap.
Oh, wait a minute, Commander. There's one more question.
What's that?
Will you come back here and untie me now?
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard packages. Have you tried Checks? Man, oh man, what cereals. Tops.
And how? Tops for taste. Right, Hap?
And Checks are bite-sized, too. Just the right size for a spoon.
So they're tops for size. Right, Hap?
And hey, Checks are tops for get up and go.
Yeah, a good breakfast of rice checks or wheat checks and Zoe, you're on your way. Right, Hap? See what I mean? Hap's already on his way.
So, Space Patrollers, try Checks today. This is Rice Checks, crisp, shredded rice biscuits you'll really go for. This is Wheat Checks, keen and delicious shredded whole wheat. So come on, gang, try Checks today. Tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. Don't wait. Get Checks today. Checks, the cereals with the free Space Patrol trading card inside. And now, a scene from next week's exciting adventure, Mr. Proteus and the poison gas.
You see this, Corry? There's enough explosive here to blow this compartment to bits, to make a real mess of it. And of anybody who happens to be in it, your cadet is gonna be in it. Unless you take me to the place where you hid that money right now. Well, Corry, is it a deal? Speak up. The cadet's life or the money? Which is it?
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz and Happy go on the trail of an accomplice named Esteban and encounter Mr. Proteus and the poison gas next week on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you by Nestle's Ever Ready, the instant cocoa, and famous Nestle's chocolate bar. Remember, N-E-S-T-L-E-S. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
Brandon DeWilde stars on ABC television.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Brought to you by the Checkerboard Super Cereals, Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston.
Hey, Commander, the Space Patrol blew...
Stand by for exciting action on Mr. Proteus and the poison gas in just one moment. What's tops for taste, size, and get up and go? Well, watch your screen for the answer. Here it is, Rice Chex. Delicious bite-sized Rice Chex. See what they're like? Little pillows of golden shredded rice. Bite-sized biscuits that taste real crisp and wonderful.
And say, for the get-up-and-go you need to be one of my very best Space Patrollers, eat a good breakfast of Rice Chex. Try them. You'll like them. Right, Jack?
I'll say. And one reason is this. Rice Chex are toasted 3 times. Toasted once to make them super. Toasted twice to make them extra super. And toasted 3 times to make them Super George. Try them, huh? Rice Chex. And say, for a bite-sized whole wheat treat, try Wheat Chex. Remember, Chex are tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. And look, Space Patrol trading cards. You get one free in every package of Chex. So, gang, what's the cereal for you and you and you? They're in the red and white checkerboard packages. You said it. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Hop, hop, hop. Look where this bunny landed. Right in the middle of a keen-tasting salad. It's the Funny Bunny Salad, featuring cling peaches and cottage cheese with crispy, crunchy rye crisp to make it taste even better. Have Mom get the free Funny Bunny recipe and these 3 delicious products at her grocer's today. Buzz Corry has succeeded in upsetting the elaborate scheme of Mr. Proteus to swindle the United Planets out of billions of credits. Although Mr. Proteus, the master of disguise himself, has managed to escape, Buzz has recovered all of the money. Now, aboard his fast battlecruiser Terra 5, Buzz is speeding back to Terra with Cadet Happy and the 3 metal cases containing 6 billion credits.
I'll be glad to get that safely back to Terra.
Yeah, there's no telling how many men Mr. Proteus has got working for him. I'll bet he tries to get it back from us before we can get it to the vaults on Terra.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What are we going to do, sir?
I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to check that money, make sure it's all still there. Take over, Hap.
Well, yeah, but Commander, don't... Look at rockets. The 2 of us all alone with 6 billion credits.
And on Terra itself, at Space Patrol headquarters, Carol Carlisle, daughter of the Secretary General, enters Buzz's central office.
Space Patrol headquarters calling Terra 5. Space Patrol headquarters to Terra 5.
Cadet Happy aboard Terra 5. Is that you, Carol?
Yes, Hap. I just got word that you're on your way in and that you have the money with you.
Carol, please don't use that word.
Well, what's the matter, Hap?
Somebody might hear us.
Oh, on this private channel?
Well, I don't care if it is a private channel. The way that guy, Mr. Proteus, gets around, it wouldn't surprise me if he was monitoring.
Well, when will you be back in?
We'll be landing in a couple minutes. Why don't you meet us?
All right, Hap, I will. And don't worry, you'll get the money back safe and no one will know about it.
Nobody but the two of us.
Who are you? How did you get in here? What do you want? You're not a space patrol.
Try that again, it'll be the last sound you'll ever make. Now, you and I are going to keep each other company until Corry gets here with the money.
I know who you are. The disguise doesn't fool me. You're Proteus. That's who you are, Proteus.
Here we are, Commander. Here we are. All right.
Let's go.
Put the money on the desk, Cap. I'll get the light. All right. Hey, Commander, we got company.
You heard what he said? Put the money on the desk.
Carol.
Well, what about this one? I'll take that one.
Fine. Hey. Nice work, Commander. Watch him, Cap. Are you all right, Carol?
Oh, yes, Buzz, but I was so worried. I couldn't warn you. Proteus was here when I came in the office. He heard me talking to Hap on the spaceophone.
Proteus? Sure, that's Proteus, all right. All right, Mr. Proteus. You thought you could fool us again with one of your disguises, huh? I'll admit you had us guessing a couple times, but not this time. No, sir. Not with that phony nose. Commander, that nose is real. This isn't Proteus. All right, where is Proteus? Where's he hiding?
Happy, come here.
Hey, Commander, he's getting away! Hold it, Hap. But, Commander, he's got one of the boxes, the money.
You've got to catch him.
Let him get a head start.
Head start? Commander, you sound like you wanted him to get away.
I did. That's why I called you back. Now we can follow him. Maybe he'll lead us directly to Proteus.
Sure. Why didn't I think of that?
Buzz, you're risking all that money. There must be 2 billion credits in that one case.
Speaking of money, you stay here and watch the rest of it. Come on, Fanny.
Oh, Buzz, come back. You can't reach.
CB2Y21 calling CB3X43, come in. Esteban calling Proteus, come in.
We could run circles around that crate, Commander.
Be careful you don't get within his viewscope range. We don't want him to spot us till we know where he's headed.
Yes, sir.
But, Mr. Proteus, I barely managed to get away with one of the money cases.
We'll discuss the matter further when we rendezvous in space. You know my position. I'm waiting for you.
I'll be coupling to your ship in a matter of minutes.
Throttle back. That's it, all right. I'll rendezvous in space. He's lowering his magnetic coupler to another ship right now.
Commander, do you really think they could be Proteus?
I'm sure of it. Pull in toward them slowly, Hap.
It's about time. I hurried as fast as I could. Only one case. But there are 2 billion credits in that one. More than a dozen men could spend in a lifetime. You stupid, blundering fool.
You stupid, blundering fool. You risked your life for this?
Oily rags, flight report cards, printed circuits, supplies from a first aid kit. Junk, nothing but junk. I don't understand.
Well, then I'll explain it to you.
Commander Corry aboard Terra 5, holding spaceship number CV3X43. Come in.
He's here. He's standing off a few hundred feet. What are we going to do?
Shut up, let me think.
We know you're there, Proteus, and you're under arrest. Stand by to be boarded. Let me warn you, any tricks and you'll take a missile.
He's owning this ship, not yours. That means this is the one he'll board. But we'll be up in yours when he does.
But what good will that do? My ship can't outrun the Terra 5.
No? You see these?
What are you going to do? What are they?
Tiny gas bombs. They're set off by electricity, and they contain just enough gas to fill a room.
You mean you're going to plant them in here for Corry?
Now you're getting smart.
But we'll be up on my ship. How can we set them off?
The trouble with you is you have no imagination. I'll wire them to the spaceophone speaker. Then when Corry gets aboard, I'll simply call him from your ship, that is.
You mean that when your voice comes through the speaker, that'll explode the gas bombs?
Esteban, you know, sometimes you're positively brilliant.
Okay, Hap. Bring her up under Proteus' ship and magnetize to its hull.
Here we go, sir.
He's magnetized to our hull.
Oh,
He'll be coming aboard.
That's all right. We're all finished. We've got plenty of time. They're just coming through Terra 5's hatch now.
Are you sure it'll work?
Of course I'm sure. A few seconds after Corry hears my voice, those gas bombs will go off.
Why don't you call them?
Patience, Esteban. We've got to be sure they've had time enough to remove their helmets.
There's no one up front. That's only mean one thing.
Yeah, they're up there in the other ship.
Let's go.
Now, Esteban.
Now, Commander Corry, welcome aboard my ship.
You know who this is, fellas and girls? That's Bob Love, ace jet pilot who shot down 6 MiGs in 6 weeks in Korea, and the man who test flies some of America's hottest and newest aircraft. Well, let's watch Bob as he makes a test flight right now. Okay, come in, Bob Love.
Here is America's most heavily armed fighter interceptor, the Air Force Scorpion F-89D, produced by Northrop Aircraft, Hawthorne, California. I'm Bob Love, test pilot on the Scorpion. Now let's take a look at it peeling off at high altitude. In those wingtip pods, the Scorpion carries a whale of a lot of rocket firepower. Its speed is over 600 miles per hour. Length is 53 feet, wingspan 56, weight a big 20 tons. You know, a fella has to be in top condition to test fly a fast aircraft such as the Scorpion. And that's why I always make it a rule to sleep well and eat well. So, for breakfast, I pick a cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They're chock full of energy and really taste good. You'll like them.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex.
Make sure you keep yourself ready for action the way Bob Love, Chuck Yeager, Phil Houghton, Tony LaVere, and lots more famous test pilots do. Eat Wheat Chex and Rice Chex every morning. The cereals that are tops 3 ways. Tops for taste, for size, and for real get up and go. That's Chex, wheat, or rice. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots. Now back to Space Patrol.
That Buzz Corry. Leave me behind to guard a bunch of junk, really. This is Space Patrol headquarters calling Space Control. I want Commander Corry's blast-off course.
Look at this, Corry. Flight report cards, oily rags, printed circuits, supplies from a first aid kit, but all from a spaceship. You switched it aboard your ship, didn't you?
Did I?
That money is still aboard Terra 5.
Then why don't you go find it?
I've got a better idea. You're going to find it for me.
You won't get it that way, Proteus.
Well, maybe not. But I think I will. This way. You see that, Corry? There's enough explosive here to make a mess out of this compartment and everybody who happens to be in it. And your cadet is going to happen to be in it. Now, you're going to your ship with us. This explosive will be rigged to the spaceophone, just as the gas bombs were. And if you don't take us right to the place where you hid the money, I'll set it off by merely making a call through my miniature spaceophone. You get the picture, Corry?
Calling Commander Corry aboard Terra 5. Commander Corry aboard Terra 5, come in.
Now, don't try anything, Corry. Just lead us to the money.
This way.
money. Be quick about it.
All right, it's in here.
Give it to me, give it to me. Hey, Nick!
Calling Terra 5. Buzz Corry, answer me. Maybe he's on another ship. Calling CV2Y21. Come in. CV2Y21, come in. All right, so I'll try another ship.
Oh, Commander, am I glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you didn't get any spacey phone calls.
Calling spaceship CB3X43. Buzz Corry, are you aboard that ship? If you are, you'd better answer me. The very idea of leaving me behind to guard a bunch of old oil rags. I was never so
Come on,
worried
we gotta
all
get
my
back aboard Terra 5 before they come through.
There along with 4 billion credits, and then I found out there was nothing in them but a bunch of junk.
Esteban, snap out of it. Mr. Proteus, what are you doing? Fixing this ship so it won't fly. Get your helmet on. We gotta get out of here.
Here, hang on to this. Hey. Smoking rockets, Commander, that's where the money is. Hey, if you don't mind my saying so, that sure is a suitable place to hide it.
Left them right here.
I wonder where they could have gone, sir.
Uh-oh.
What is it, Commander?
Somehow they managed to slip around us. We got back aboard Esteban's ship. They're blasting off right now.
Should go after them?
Right, after them.
They won't have a chance of getting away from good old Terra 5. Did I say good old Terra 5? The rockets won't fire.
And here's Pie.
This time I know where you are, Buzz Corry. I saw you come back aboard Terra 5. And if you think you're going to get away with that trick you pulled on me, you have another thing coming. The very idea of making me stay behind to watch those 2 cases full of junk. Why,
I hardly know what to say. I had no idea. Just to think that my voice coming in over that spaceophone could have meant that Happy could have been blown up. Oh, you'll never know how sorry I am. Will you forgive me, please?
Well, I don't know. I really shouldn't, you know, but, well, maybe if you apologize just once more.
I wasn't talking to you. I was apologizing to Buzz about the way I acted for being left behind in those 2 cases.
But, you know, I'm the one that... Well, smoking rockets. Some days you just can't win.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa, and famous Nestle's chocolate bar. Well, Space Patrollers, after an exciting adventure like you've just seen, everybody radios the galley for a good big cup of Nestle's Ever-Ready cocoa. And no wonder. There's nothing like this sensational hot drink with the super cosmic flavor. And you know you can make Nestle's Ever-Ready cocoa fast as 1, 2, 3. Well, watch as our commissary cadet, Nettie Nestle, and I put 1, 2, 3 teaspoons in the cup. Add hot water. And there it is. Delicious Nestle's cocoa all ready to serve. Nestle's is full of rich whole milk and energy-building sugar, so it gives you plenty of built-in power. Commander Corry says, have Nestle's every morning for breakfast. So be sure to ask Mom to get Nestle's Ever-Ready cocoa in the big red can. And remember...
Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
Now a scene from next week's exciting adventure, The Revenge of Mr. Proteus.
Smoking rockets, Commander. It's a bomb. A time bomb. And it's ticking. Stopped. It's going to go off.
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz and Happy encounter The Revenge of Mr. Proteus. Next week on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, Wheat Chex, and Rice Chex. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station. This is the symbol of help, the Red Cross. Help for the sick, the injured, and the helpless. Be a real Space Patroller. Make a real contribution to the Red Cross.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol.
Stand by for exciting action on The Revenge of Mr. Proteus in just one moment. Buzz Corry and his Cadet Happy have recovered all the money that Mr. Proteus had attempted to swindle from the United Planets and have returned it to Terra before starting out again to capture the elusive Mr. Proteus, the master of disguise. But at this same moment, at the Terra spaceport, is the very man Buzz seeks.
Well, Mr. Proteus, this is too dangerous coming right here to Terra.
This is the last place they'll look for us. We landed without being discovered, didn't we?
Listen. Somebody coming up the gangway.
Oh, relax. I'm expecting a caller. But you better stay in here. You might be recognized.
I might be recognized. But your face has been on every telechart in the system.
The face of Mr. Proteus, yes. But not this face.
Excellent. But what are you planning?
Revenge, Esteban. Corry's going to pay for his interference with his life. Wait here.
What's that?
A little present for Corry fits in the earpiece of his spaceophone. The instant the phone is turned on, this little disc suddenly causes the carrier signal to be increased in frequency, converts it to a supersonic wave. Instantly, Corry will be frozen. He won't even be able to pull the phone away from his ear. And after a few seconds of exposure to the deadly supersonic wave... Poof.
Then why the time bomb?
No insurance. In case the disc doesn't get him, the bomb will.
Oh, I think you're going to an awful lot of trouble just for revenge.
Just for revenge? There's no price too great to get even with Corry.
I had billions of credits right here in my hands. I'd have them still if it hadn't been for Corry.
He destroyed my plans. Now I'm going to destroy him.
But how are you going to get into his office?
Corry doesn't know it.
But the spaceophone in his office needs fixing.
Commander Corry's headquarters. Cadet Happy here. Oh, no, he's not here right now. I expect him back in a few minutes. Well, he's right across the hall in Major Robertson's office. Something important? Yeah. Right. Sure, I'll tell him right away. Yes, sir. Oh, can I help you, sir?
Spaceophone maintenance.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the spaceophone.
Had a complaint.
But I just used it.
Got a hum there.
I didn't hear any hum. Well, look, you better wait right here. I'll be right back.
Okay now.
Yeah, but hey, you were... Hey, wait a minute, fellow. Hey, you forgot your toolbox. Commander Corry's headquarters. Cadet Happy here.
Happy, this is Commander Corry. I'm still across the hall. Have there been any calls, any word about Proteus? Happy.
Happy, what's the matter? Happy! Breathe deeply, Happy, brother. Breathe deeply. Look at the rocket to my head. Happy, what's the matter? What happened? I don't know, Commander. I just answered the spacephone, and all of a sudden I was frozen in my tracks, and there was that terrible sound. Sound?
Here it is. Frequency modulator disc, but how did it get in there?
I don't know, Commander. Hey, wait a minute. That spacephone repairman.
Repairman?
Yes, sir. He was just in here. He said there was something wrong with the spacephone. He said it had a hum in it.
Certainly did, after he got through with it. What did he look like?
I don't know, Commander. Let's see. He had a big nose and a hair down on his eyes. He was a real character. I don't know. He was sort of... What? Smoking rockets, Commander. You don't think it could have been Proteus in another disguise?
You saw him. Could it have been?
Gee, I don't know. Yeah, he was about the same size. About the same build. Sure, it could have been. I'll bet it was. Sure, and Proteus is just the guy who would want to get rid of us, too.
You say he just left?
Yes, sir. Just before you called. Yeah, he left in such a hurry that he forgot his toolbox. Smoking rockets, Commander, it's a bomb. A time bomb, and it's ticking. It stopped. It's going to blow up.
Going to have it remodeled anyway.
Yeah, but were you going to have us remodeled along with it?
Sure is a mess.
That guy Proteus sure must be a sore loser, Commander, just because we cost him several billion credits. Wow.
You know, Hap, might not be a bad idea if we let him think he succeeded.
You might be right, Commander. Oh, then if he thought that he got rid of us, why, he might get careless, and it'll be easier to catch him.
Exactly.
Sure. And if he thinks we're out of the way, he might try to leave Terra.
And we'll follow him. Hap, see if this spacephone's still working.
Yes, sir.
Alert Space Control to be on the lookout for any unidentified ship blasting off.
Blast off without getting clearance from Space Control? But Corry's waiting for us. He'll be right on our tail with Terra 5.
Of course he will, you fool. I wanted to follow us. Maybe I failed to get him here on Terra. But out in space, it'll be different. Now do what I tell you. Blast off.
Quite a while, Commander. Still no sign of that ship. Do you think we might be following the wrong one?
I think it was Proteus, all right. It's more than just coincidence that a ship blasted off without clearance. At the same time, we expected Proteus to leave Terra.
I guess you're right, sir. They might have changed course.
Take that chance. Keep heading toward the asteroid belt.
Right.
All right, Esteban, you have your instructions. Get the ship out of here fast. Stand off just out of view scope range and be ready to pick me up when you get my signal.
But Mr. Proteus, what you're doing is very dangerous.
It's not half as dangerous for me as it's going to be for Corry.
Commander, we're coming into the asteroid belt already and still no sign of this ship. Do you think they might have a hideout on one of those asteroids somewhere? You that, sir?
Please help me. On rock.
I'll put it on automatic U-scope control.
Yes, Happy.
The man in the spacesuit is clinging to a small chunk of rock.
Hap, pull in under that rock. I'm going out and bring him in. Yes, sir. I guess that means Proteus will have to wait, huh, sir?
Yes, Happy, there's a man out there in distress. Proteus will have to wait.
Take his helmet. Yes, sir. All right. Easy there.
I'll take him out, Hap. You get the ship back on course.
Right, sir. Back on course, Commander. I put it on autopilot. How's he?
I think he'll be all right. We'll lock the door to bring him around. You're all right now, old timer.
Just your hides. No good space bombings. Leaving the men high and dry, marooned on a chunk of rock.
Now, hold it. You're not on that rock anymore. You're on board a Space Patrol battle cruiser.
Well, how'd you get here?
Well, we heard your distress call. The commander picked you up.
Commander?
Commander Corry.
Reckon I owe you an apology for spouting off like I did there.
Who put you on that rock?
Pirates. Space pirates they was. Stole my ship. Left me marooned out there.
Commander, we're approaching something.
Check it, sir.
Right.
Reckon you could give me a hand in chasing them pirates? We'll let you get the ship back.
We'll do what we can. Right now we're on the trail of a different kind of pirate.
Yes.
By the way, what's your name?
Quick. Captain Quick. I've jockeyed freighters through these space lanes, man and boy, over 40 years. Never set eyes on a pair as low as them pirates.
Commander, you better come up here right away. A space car just appeared in front of us, and it looks like it might belong to Mr. Proteus.
Make yourself comfortable.
There it is, Commander. Dead ahead.
That's odd. After the chase they led, why would they stay out there in plain sight?
Hey, Commander, do you think it might be the pirates the old man was talking about?
I don't know, Hap. Something doesn't add up.
Well, who is he, anyway?
His name was Captain Quick.
Captain Quick. Hey, don't we know a Captain Quick? That name, Captain Quick, sounds familiar. Captain Quick.
Yes, Hap. We do know him.
Well, there's nothing like running into old friends and a chunk of rock out in the middle of space.
Except for one thing, Happy. Captain Quick is in detention in the rehabilitation center on Terra. We put him there ourselves months ago.
Oh, sure, I remember. Yeah, but who's that back there, sir?
Who do you think it is, Happy?
Oh, Oh, no, you don't think it's Proteus again, do you?
I'm sure. We've just walked into another one of Proteus's traps.
I'm afraid I have to agree with you, Commander. You just walked into my trap.
Esteban!
Mr. Proteus, is that you?
Yes, of course it is. Well, everything's under control, just as I planned it. Corry and the cadet are tied up. I've put their ship on a collision orbit with the rock they were kind enough to rescue me from.
Well, don't take any more chances with them. Get rid of them now. What if they get loose?
I've just smashed their rocket controls. Without rockets, they'll never be able to maneuver this ship off its collision orbit.
Shall I pick up now?
Yes, at once. Pull over this ship. I'll be on the outer hull in just a few seconds. Well, Commander, it's taken a long time. But you're finally going to pay for your interference.
Commander, what are we going to do? Can you see anything, Commander? Are we really on a collision orbit with that asteroid?
Yes, Happy, it's dead ahead.
Come on, we've got to try to get out of these ropes. Yeah, but what good's it going to do, Commander? Even if we do get free, we're still on a collision orbit with that asteroid.
Just going to stand here and wait for it?
No, sir.
Faster, Happy. Faster.
I'm trying, Commander. Wait a minute. I think I'm getting it.
Do we have to stay here and watch it?
Yes, we have to stay here and watch it. This time there's no way out for it. And I'm going to be an eyewitness.
You think the rocket's on fire, sir?
Worth a try.
Oh, I didn't think they would. Commander. It's just a matter of seconds now. We're really bearing down on that asteroid. There's nothing to change our course. Not even a little breeze. There's one time, I'm sorry, there's no air out in space.
Air. Breeze. It might work.
What do you mean, sir?
Come on, head back to the bunk compartment fast.
What are you going to do, Commander?
I'll blast off that side port. Here and then. Bunk compartment will rush out.
Oh, the blast might be just enough to move us off course, so we'll miss that rock.
Stand back.
Got it, Commander. It moved a little.
Let's hope it was enough.
We hit.
Just a glancing blow. The hull isn't damaged. Packed into the spacesuit. Go up and seal off that port. And we'll pump the ship full of air, repair the instrument panel, and go after Proteus again.
Proteus! No, it's me, Commander.
In the wild, vast reaches of space, missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Brought to you by the Checkerboard Super Cereals, Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston.
Look for yourself.
Let's get out of here fast before he sees us. We can never outrun Terra 5. Get away from those controls. But Mr. Proteus!
Rockets are firing on his ship. That means it's still out of control. Otherwise, he would have come after us before now. Esteban, stand by to fire a missile. This time, I'm going to see Corry destroyed with my own eyes.
Stand by for exciting action on the capture of Mr. Proteus in just one moment. Hey, gang, been watching the Space Patrol signal crew practicing, and hey, I bet they had themselves a nourishing breakfast with rice checks. Because look, tops for taste. That means rice checks right down the line. Triple toasted biscuits, flavor toppers for breakfast or snacks. Tops for size. That spells rice checks, too. Bite-sized design. Man, oh man, it's neat. Hollow inside. Fills up with milk or cream. Tops for get up and go. Eat a good, nourishing breakfast with a big bowl full of rice checks, and wowee, you have it. Get up and go, and Energy Plus. How about it, Space Patrollers? Try it yourselves for breakfast or snacks. Rice checks.
And if a neat whole wheat treat is what you're after, then try power-rich wheat checks. Checks, rice or wheat in the red and white checkerboard packages. Tops 3 ways.
Tops for taste. Tops for size. Tops for get up and go. Rice checks, wheat checks. The cereals with the swell free Space Patrol trading card inside each package. Somebody's looking at you, Space Patroller, and oh boy, is he delicious. It's the Funny Bunny Salad, one of many fun-to-eat salads featuring cling peaches and cottage cheese with delicious, crunchy rye crisp to make them taste even better. Have Mom get free recipes and these 3 keen products at her grocer's today. In pursuit of the Master of Disguise, Mr. Proteus, Buzz Corry and Cadet Happy faced almost certain destruction when their ship, Terra 5, sped out of control on a collision orbit head-on toward a small asteroid. In making his escape, Proteus had smashed the control panel of Terra 5.
and Buzz was forced to shoot out a viewport, so the outgoing air would alter their course enough to miss the asteroid. Now, as their ship free falls through space, still without power, Buzz and Happy are in the sealed-off bunk compartment, using an emergency atomo battery to power the spaceophone to make an important call.
I have a ship standing by, Buzz. I'll find you.
Well, you may have to look around for us, but the last reading I took, we were on Space Meridian 154.8, just entering the asteroid belt.
All right, Buzz. I'll find you. Don't worry.
Meanwhile, we're going to try to repair the ship. Corry out.
But did we get rid of him? Corry has managed to survive so many traps I set for him.
But Mr. Proteus' ship was without power. There was no possible way he could have avoided crashing that asteroid.
Just the same, I'll only be certain when I see the wreckage of his ship. I'm going to satisfy myself that I have had my revenge.
How did he do it? You mean Corry didn't crash?
Look for yourself.
Let's get out of here fast before he sees us. We can never outrun Terra 5.
Get away from those controls.
But Mr. Proteus...
The rockets aren't firing on his ship. That means it's still out of control. Otherwise, he'd have come after us before now. Esteban, stand by to fire a missile. But this time I'm going to see Corry destroyed with my own eyes.
Well, here comes the air, sir. Well, everything seems to be airtight again.
Now we can work faster.
You want me to help you, sir?
All we got left to do is repair the wiring.
Fire one.
Smoking rockets, what was that? And I hope it wasn't.
Proteus, he's still out there.
And that missile was almost in here.
Stand by to fire two.
Standing by.
Fire two.
That was close. He's sighting in on us.
The next one will be on target.
And that means us. What are we going to do, sir?
He just waited a few more seconds. We have these main power cables hooked up.
Yeah, but he's not going to wait.
This one is it, Esteban. Stand by to fire three.
Standing by.
Going to wait either, Happy. Fire rockets.
But, Commander, they won't fire. The main power cables aren't hooked up.
They are now.
Commander, your hand!
Fire rocket!
Fire three.
Hey, he missed us, Commander. You did it. Commander.
He fired his rocket. His ship's working again. Now he'll come after us. He'll catch us.
Oh, shut up. Shut up and let me think.
Let's get out of here. Please, Mr. Proteus, forget Corry.
Come on, sir. Your hand sure took a beating, sir.
Oh, the guy, Pat, just bandage him up for now.
Yes, sir.
sighted your ship, Hap. There's another one standing off from you, about 15 DUs.
That's Proteus. Carol, go after that ship. Your
Right, Buzz.
can handle it easily.
Order Proteus to stand by or you'll fire at him. And whatever you do, don't let him get away. Corry out.
Space Patrol battlecruiser calling spaceship CV2Y21. Kill your rockets and stand by in free fall. You're under arrest.
Mr. Corry.
I've heard that voice before.
Oh, what are you going to do?
We'll answer her, of course. Miss Carol Carlisle, I presume?
Yes, and you're Mr. Proteus, I presume.
Now, what's all this about arresting me?
You heard me the first time, Proteus. Kill your rockets.
Suppose you let me speak to your commanding officer.
I'm in command of this ship, but don't let that fool you. I have a missile aimed at you. Now cut your rockets right now.
Yes, Miss Carol. As you say, I've cut my rockets. I'm your prisoner.
That's better.
Frankly, Miss Carol, I'm glad it's over. I'm tired of running away from Commander Corry. You may take possession of my ship. I will not resist.
Why, yes, of course. I'll pull in under you. When we're coupled together, you'll board my ship. And come unarmed.
Very well, Miss Carol. I'm ready. Proteus out.
Mr. Proteus, what are you doing?
But don't you see? Here's a fast Space Patrol battle cruiser, a valuable hostage, and an opportunity to destroy Corry, all just for the taking.
But I don't understand.
She's alone. And she thinks I'm alone.
All right, get your hands up. High.
Well, this is all unnecessary, Miss Carol. I promised you I'd come aboard without any weapons.
And Splendor, does your promise mean anything? All right, you can put your hands down now.
You see, Miss Carol, it was quite useless, wasn't it? After all, why should I carry a gun when my friend Esteban has one and he's standing right behind you?
I warned you about tricks, Proteus.
Well, this isn't a trick, Miss Carol. All right, Esteban.
Oh, you're not fooling me. Let's go!
First to crack the sound barrier. First to fly twice as fast as the speed of sound. You know who he is, fellas and girls? Major Chuck Yeager, test pilot on Convair's famous Flying Triangle, the XF-92A, and just about the world's fastest human being. Well, let's watch Chuck as he puts the triangle through a test run right now. Come in, Major Yeager.
Here's a Flying Triangle taking off. It's the world's first Delta Wing airplane, the XF-92A, designed by the Convair Aircraft Corporation in San Diego.
I'm Major Chuck Yeager, Air Force test pilot for this Delta Wing airplane. Now, let's have a closer look at this unusual Air Force interceptor as it comes back from a test flight.
The wings are swept back 60 degrees. Length of the Delta Wing is 42 feet. Speed, high subsonic, about 700 miles an hour. Now that you've seen one of the planes I fly, let me tell you what it takes to be a test pilot. To start with, I have to stay in good condition. That means get plenty of rest, plenty of exercise, and good food at every meal. For breakfast, I like a cereal that really tastes good and has plenty of energy.
Like Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form.
Remember what I said about staying in good shape. I'll be seeing you.
Make sure you stay in good condition like Chuck Yeager, Tony LaVere, Phil Houghton, and many other famous test pilots. Have yourself a nourishing breakfast every morning with Chex, the cereals that are tops 3 ways: for taste, for size, for get up and go. That's Chex, rice or wheat. Tops with America's top pilots. And now back to Space Patrol.
It doesn't have. Switch on the power. Let's see if it works.
Yes, sir. Hey, as good as new.
Good. Now, the first thing you better do is check with Carol. Commander Corry calling. Carol, Carlisle, come in. Carol.
Space Patrol's putting out power, sir.
I don't like this hat. I shouldn't have sent her after Proteus.
But, Commander, you couldn't just let him get away, and besides, all you had to do was just make him stand by out in space.
Just the same, I don't like it.
Terra 5 calling Carol. Cadet Happy to Carol. Do you read me?
Having left their space car in a free-fall orbit, Proteus and Esteban race in their hostage ship toward the fringe of the twilight belt of Mercury, where the intense rays of the sun blend into the shadows of the shady side, where the temperature is an unbearable 160 degrees, and where a small spherical structure jets out of the rocky cliffs, the hideout of Mr. Proteus.
Yes, Mr. Proteus, I understand. I can use one of the solar reflectors from the building power unit.
And Hendricks, waste no time. I will be landing there shortly in a Space Patrol ship.
Don't worry, Mr. Proteus. I'm here alone, but it will be ready. I just finished rigging the solar reflector, Mr. Proteus. I was about to test it when you arrived.
I'll do it now. I must be certain it works before I let Corry know where I am.
I have hung a garment over there. I focused the mirror to strike it. Then I opened...
Excellent, Hendricks.
You see, we'll let Corry come down the corridor to the cell. Let him think he's rescuing the girl. Then, when he tries to get away, we'll get all three. Corry, the cadet, and the girl.
Direction they blasted off. And they must have Carol.
They shouldn't have let her do it.
Proteus, calling Commander Corry aboard Terra 5. Come in.
Proteus?
This is Commander Corry. What have you done with Carol?
Suppose you come and find out.
All right, Proteus, just where do I come?
Oh, you've been here before, Corry. I'm at my hideout on Mercury. Come and get me if you can.
What have you done with Carol?
Maybe you'd like to talk to her,
Son, don't come here. It's a trap.
Carol, are you all right?
She's all right, Corry, so far. But it's up to you to see that she stays that way. For your information, she's being put in the solar room to await your arrival.
All right, Proteus, you've got yourself a date. This full rocket's half we're on our way to Mercury.
Commander, I don't suppose there's any doubt that Carol is right. We're walking right into a trap.
No doubt.
The odds are about 20 to 1 against any of us ever getting out of there alive.
You want to turn back?
You kidding, sir?
Well aware of the danger that awaits them on Mercury, the two space patrolmen grimly set out on a mission that may very well be their last adventure. With Carol's life at stake, they do not hesitate to risk their own lives to try to save her, nor do they hesitate to accept the challenge of their arch-enemy, Mr. Proteus, all against great odds. Soon, Terra 5 lowers into position at the side of the structure on Mercury and magnetically couples to the airlock. Inside waits Mr. Proteus, ready to spring his trap, convinced that this time he will not fail to destroy Buzz and Happy, and Carol in the bargain.
Here they come. Cover the solar guns. Quick, quick.
Get the switch. Yes, sir. We gotta get out of here. This heat's unbearable. Right, sir. Get the water. Oh, yes, sir. Sure, it's a good thing we brought this water along, sir.
Remember how thirsty we got when we were in that solar room?
Yes, sir. Well.
Behind you, look out!
Huh?
I'm coming to gun!
Commander, my gun! Smoking rockets, did you see that, sir?
It blew up.
The solar mirror. They've been waiting for it.
Well, we'll be safe in this corner for a few minutes anyway.
Maybe there's a way out down this way, sir.
Check it. What did you find, Pat?
Nothing, sir. Just a closet full of Proteus's disguises.
Means the only way out is the way we came in. Right past that solar mirror.
But they have a chance.
Look, Commander, maybe we can use that stuff in the closet, disguise ourselves to look like Proteus, and then make him think he's looking in the mirror.
What are you waiting for, Corry? You're trapped. Come on out.
All right, I can wait as long as you can. Don't take your eyes away from that corner. The moment we see anything, we'll let them have it.
Well, even if we haven't got any food, it's a good thing we got all this water.
Water?
Commander, you threw the water out. But, Commander, won't we be needing it?
Not if this works.
What do you got in mind, sir?
Now, what'll happen to that water if they sit with the solar mirror?
Well, it'll go up in a cloud of steam. A cloud of steam, I get it.
It's a slim chance, but we won't have any choice.
Do you think the cloud of steam will be enough to cover you?
Well, maybe not, but it should confuse them for a second. Now I'll give them something to shoot at.
Fire! This time you'll get it, Corry! Not Happy!
Here, Carol, go after me.
Well, hey, Carol, where's the commander?
He went over there.
Oh, what are you doing, Commander?
Proteus, that's a weakness for disguises. Throw him. Good to see how he likes this one.
I'll get you, Corry. This time I'll get you.
Yeah. Hendricks is going to try to escape. I get you, sir. So you make a lot of noise. Right. All right, Happy. Now.
Commander, look out! Hendricks is getting away!
Mr. Proteus, don't use the solar mirror. It's me, Hendricks! Going, Hendricks. What's the situation back there?
Like a cinch. After all, how long can they hold out? Corey's a smart one. He won't give up easily. He'll try anything.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Say, supposes he disguises himself. What?
Well, if he disguises himself as Hendricks and stand right next to you, you'd never know it.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yes, Proteus, you're right. I do feel ridiculous in this getup.
Corey!
Yeah, now the reason, almost.
Right, half count. Come out now. Bring the prisoners.
Who's this?
I guess it's another one of Proteus's men. Happy's on him back there in the closet.
All right, you're under arrest, too.
Hey, who do you think is shoving?
No, now get back in line with the rest of the prisoners.
Happy, go to the ship and get some handcuffs. Happy!
Where is that cadet?
I'll get him for you.
You go. Happy, come here.
I'm already here, Commander. Commander, it's me. It's Happy.
I'll admit it's a very clever disguise.
What's the matter, Commander? Don't you recognize me?
No, I've never seen you before in my life.
Hey, but wait a minute, Commander. It's me. It's Happy.
But nothing. You're under arrest.
Oh.
Is that right, Carol?
That's right, Buzz.
Hi, Commander. Hey, who's that?
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Nestle's Ever Ready, the Instant Cocoa, and famous Nestle's Chocolate Bar. You know, Space Patrollers, Cadet Happy won't mind if they put him behind bars. No, sir, as long as they're Nestle's Chocolate Bars. I want to tell you, all Space Patrollers really go for Nestle's bars, because Nestle's have what it takes. Plenty of nourishing milk? You bet. Lots of pep-up sugar? And how? And there are 3 sensational kinds to choose from. There's smooth, creamy milk chocolate in the red and white wrapper, the chock-full of almond bar in the blue and white wrapper, and this great crunch bar in the red and blue pack. As Hap would say, smoking rockets. It's just full of sweet, crisp surprises. You get behind a Nestle chocolate bar, fellas and girls, and you'll be eating your way through the greatest treat in the whole universe. And remember,
Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate.
and now a scene from next week's exciting adventure, Baccarati's Z-Ray.
All the guards that drove the ship were in some kind of a trance, and the ship blasted off.
Blasted off? But, Commander, that means he'll go back in the past, back in time and hide.
Yes, Happy, only this time we know where he's headed. We're going to follow him. Back to 20th century Earth.
A trip back in time?
Be sure to see what happens when Buzz and Happy discover that a wanted criminal has been hiding in the past. A criminal with a strange connection to Prince Baccarati and Baccarati's Z-Ray. Next week on Space Patrol. Patrol was brought to you today by the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Wheat Chex, Rice Chex. Be sure to hear Space Patrol on ABC Radio every Saturday. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
Danny Thomas stars on ABC television.